and gentlemen, welcome back to VLE Challengers Cup 2 Playoffs Day 6. We're taking things to the lower semifinal with Celestial Titan versus TIMEZ. Now joining me for this matchup is a special guest from our very own tournament here. She has played, she has coached, she has managed, she's done it all. For Ultralight Academy, I'd like to officially welcome you to the casting booth, Thalya. How are you doing tonight?
Hello, Robbie. I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm super excited for this matchup right now, and I know that you actually, being someone involved with one of the teams here, Ultralight Academy, that being, you've actually went up against these teams, or one of these teams, so I actually want to talk about them first, and that's TIMEZ. Now, Thalya, this team has surprised everyone so far, and I think it's safe to say they actually have pretty good chances in this series, I must say. And with this being presumably a closer matchup than the last, I think as long as NRY pops off here and Kyo finds the initiator value she's usually really good at, things can pan out well for TIMEZ. And being part of an organization that actually got to share the server with TIMEZ at some point, I want to pick your brain a bit on this team because I'm a new fan and I want to know more about this team. What's it like versing them?
Yes, I definitely think they're the underdogs of the series, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think going into it, I think a lot of people doubted TIMEZ, and we were one of those people. I think the value that NRY finds is great. I think the lurks on Sky, is that how you say it? Sky? SK1?
Ski,
is really bad. Yeah, Ski is really valuable in certain moments and can really clutch up. I think Kyo is also really good on that initiator, and I've become a fan of their Gecko.
Yes, her Gecko is so good. That's actually one of the big key things we point out a lot in this caster's booth. So yeah, 100%, I agree. I think TIMEZ can be considered a bit of the underdog in this story because we've seen a lot of success from Celestial Titan. And speaking of Celestial Titan, I mean, last time we saw them, it was against Fanatical Radiance, and they absolutely dominated that series with the maps being 13-6 and 13-2. And this team, Thalya, they started this tournament off so dominant, but they slowed down a bit, which was one of our biggest critiques of them coming into the playoffs. However, their recent results looks like they're, getting back in the swing of things. They're getting back in form, and Shizu has adjusted well at this point. What are your thoughts about Celestial Titan?
Yeah, I think if you can get that value from Pillow Fort in Shizu, I think Celestial has a really good chance of winning. But they just have to find that value, Robbie.
Yep. You're 100% right. I think that's a really big important point for them because ever since Parks, and I know I mention his name so much, but ever since they don't have Parks in the lineup, I think that itself, the Pillow Fort Shizu narrative, has become a lot more important. And especially, Blue, Asgo, other really good players in the server, and as well Blood, who's the IGL. And here we go.
Yeah.
So looking at the map veto, Celestial Titan came into this as Team A, so they ban out Abyss, which is expected from TIMEZ, and then they ban out Lotus, and then we get that Haven first map pick. It's going to be pretty cool. Now, the thing about Haven for me, Thalya, is that I noticed that Celestial Titan are so good at those 3 bomb site maps. Whether it's Lotus, whether it's Haven, I feel like we've always seen really good stuff for them, but do you think that TIMEZ can pull this map pick away from them?
Yeah, I definitely think with the lurk from Ski, I think that could become really valuable in this game on Haven. Especially when I went up against them, that lurk from Ski was really crucial for them in certain moments. And our Y finding that value is also really good for them. Kyo just on that initiator dominating. So I do think TIMEZ has a chance.
Yeah. 100%. I definitely think that there's some really good things that come out of this. I'd be scared going on to Haven against Celestial Titan, but I mean, we're deep into the tournament at this point, and I'm pretty sure there's enough odds out there to see Celestial Titan play style to the point where, I mean, it should be good from both teams. And then, of course, we're going to get that Sunset next and then the Ascent afterwards. But the other thing I want to talk about here is TIMEZ actually picked to start on attack here on the Haven map. And the thing is, from what we both know, this is a pretty attack-sided map. 3 bomb sites to defend, spread yourselves kind of thin, and Celestial Titan play towards that, right? And with TIMEZ starting on attack, they're going to set the pace of this series. And do you think they might approach this slow, or do you think they're going to come into this one fast?
I'm hoping to see them approach it really fast. I think the way that they've been playing in recent series, especially when we played them on this map, their attack was really aggressive and really fast. And if they keep that momentum that they had, they could win it.
Yeah. 100%, you're right. I mean, Celestial Titan's a type of team. You got to get in their face, like, early on. you know, to actually gain that upper hand. There's some teams, they don't get bothered by that, but I know for a fact when it comes to Celestial Titan, especially Shizu, you know, he's the one, he likes to be the main character in the server, and that persona usually rides out well in Valorant. And so I think if TIMEZ can play towards that, they can definitely find an upper hand here, just from the mental game and from the strategic game.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like getting in your opponent's face is definitely the way that I like to play. I think my team also likes to play that way, and I think it can really shake up a game when you're just explosive onto a site and really in their face and aggressive.
And with Agent Select here, we're going to get a look at how both these teams approach the map. Now, this is a bit curious. Now, I'm assuming that... yeah, okay. I was going to say, I'm assuming Shizu's just hovering fade there, but he's going to pick the Cypher, and there it is. And on TIMEZ, still not quite sure what the comp is going to be from those hovers there, but yep, so we get a pretty standard thing out here from Celestial Titan. Get that Omen Cypher, that Sova Breach Neon, and I honestly really love this comp for them, Thalya, because the Neon plays so well with the pacing of the Breach, and you have Sova that's got that long range support with the Owl Drone and the Recon Bolt as well, so you know, this is going to look really good for them.
Yeah, I think that Neon makes their comp really aggressive. I'm excited to see how they play that.
Yeah. And what I love about this comp from TIMEZ on the flip end too is it's playing to the new style we're getting from them. We actually got this comp in TIMEZ's last matchup, and I forgot who was casting that game with me. I think it was Storch. Neither of us were expecting Keo to be on the Yoru and for NRY to go into that ISO. Now, this is a comp that we've seen time and time again in the server. You know, teams like Fnatic like to play this. We've seen this from 100 Thieves as well. So definitely a very familiar style, but it was new for TIMEZ the first time we saw it, and it looked pretty decent. I think Keo was really good on the Yoru. I think she has a really good idea of like how to play that Yoru in juxtaposition to that Gecko. And the other thing about Yoru, you and I both know that he kind of plays as a flash initiator in today's comps, and so I definitely think that the way that TIMEZ have adjusted to these roles have worked in their favor.
Yeah, I like this comp from TIMEZ. It's the Fnatic comp that you see a lot with Alfier and Boaster, and this is a really explosive comp. When we played it, we also didn't expect this comp at all, Robbie.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those aggressive, in-your-face, go-fast type of comps, and it looks really good on TIMEZ.
Yeah. So good. Especially with XD on that Sova. Ski, I don't know what it is. Ski has started popping off on the Sentinel role. It's crazy. He started going so good. So I'm really excited to see his lurks. You were mentioning it. I think it's going to be really good here.
Yes, his lurks. I feel like just getting inserted into certain little spots and being able to get those kills when they matter is really important in what you want to see out of your Sentinel, and he does such a great job.
Yeah. And here we are, moving right into the pistol round. An early stun, right over towards A main. Make sure there's no funny business from lobby from TIMEZ. And as you said, it's a very explosive comp, and you see that they're kind of playing towards that. They're playing very passive on the approach here at Celestial Titan. One thing I also like about this comp is both duelists between Yoru and ISO, you can actually lurk on either one. You can either have your Yoru lurk and throw a gate crash elsewhere and have him still come back to the team, or you can have the ISO lurk, you know, just throw his contingency towards backside, pop a shield, and just fake a hit.
Yeah, a lot of the time you see a Yoru place the gate crash like on A, and they'll show presence on C, and they'll have their team push up fully onto C, and then they'll send the bomb back to A with the Yoru. So it's really impactful here.
Yeah. And RY opening up that first blood, though. On to Shizu. Unable to fend things off, and it's a free C site 4 times into the pistol round. Now, one thing I'm looking for here coming into this game is how these retakes are going to go. Because Celestial Titan, this is something they're known for. They're known for having these really good utility stacks going into the site. And here it is. Stun, Paranoia comes right on through. Every box being checked off on the site, but that leaves them with a bit less resources when they go to tap onto the spike. And both dark covers, invested from both teams. The garage rewrap also landing a lot of shots there. NRY with 3 on the round. As go. Looking to try to get that trade and look for a 1v3, but I mean, TIMEZ are playing it so well. All of them hiding behind corners, giving him nothing to chew on. And that's it. The pistol for Times.
Yeah, I feel like that retake was great by Celestial. I just feel like their Omen messed up that smoke on the bomb to start the defuse, and they were just able to get shot through it because they were exposed to long, which is unfortunate to see. But I'm excited to see how Times plays this. It looks like they're gonna go for a push on A.
Ooh, but look. This time, I mean, he throws the deep spy cam again, but the fault line's ready for the same thing, but Pillow Fort's actually playing off it this time. So already a bit of a tempo change from Celestial Titan in terms of the way they want to control the map. And pretty soon, actually, I mean, you want to deal with things like this early game, Thalya. This spy cam right here gets so much information.
Yeah, that spy cam is really, really pesky to go against, to shoot it out all the time. It's just so much valuable info. He's inserted down short, but he can't move anywhere without shooting it. So.
Exactly, yeah.
And it looks like they're probably going to lean towards C here.
Yep. I mean, this was the very position that Shizu got caught out last time. Spy cam through. He's going to have to get off of it, though. Moves forward. Contingency towards back sight. Gets an RY. Safely positioned here. Now, the double tap is going to run out, so he won't have that for this retake. He does have 2 uppercuts, though, to deal with. And right now, 3 members for Celestial Titan here in Garage to deal with this. The biggest thing you want out of this round, if your Celestial Titan is damaged, but they're getting a lot more than that. And Times overstaying their welcome just a little bit, but Ski has a complete response for it. Playing around, throws down the cage and even buys a little bit more time. And as he tries to run away with his life, Shizu actually able to recover the Spectre, and they can actually make a go of this one. Coming out here onto the site, you see Shizu moving forward quickly, and even Blue taking one down. And that's all the kills for the side of Celestial Titan. They can't get the defuse, but all of the damage and then some has been done by Celestial Titan. What a round.
Yeah, it was a great save round by Celestial. I think Times just got a little sloppy. Overstayed their welcome. And sometimes you hate to see it, and they're going to have to buy into this round. But it doesn't look like they're going to. Gonna see some shares and a Bulldog, which is expected after losing. They won their buy, technically, but they did lose all their guns.
Got a kill contract here from NRY, too. Probably not going to come out this round, but I mean, that's a really good ultimate when you go into those rifle rounds and try to take down that anchor.
Yeah, their Sentinel, that ult becomes really deadly for those Sentinels. If you can kill their Senti, that's a free sight.
Yep. Yeah. And for the first time, attention is over towards the A site. Fake out to come through. Forces Pillow Fort off the line momentarily, but switches things over towards short. And once again, that spy cam getting so much info. They know that short is not being contested right now, at least super forward. Aldrone, try to clear over towards short once again. And you see that causes Pillow Fort into a bit of disarray, moving around the site. But Keo is actually able to take down the first blood here. Coming into it, contingency towards back site. Pillow Fort masking the shots, but a quick fadeaway kill onto him. 1-2, make it 3. And the eco kills from Pillow Fort, looking really clean. Trying to keep as many bodies on board as possible, but Chirisu caught out with the shrouded step towards default. Gonna get punished by Shizu. And Ski left by his lonesome, sheriff in hand, full HP. And Blue gonna finish off the kill with the wallbang. Celestial Titan with their first round on the board.
Yeah, again, you talk about the retakes from Celestial, and that's just proof right there that their retakes are really, really good and are hard to manage when you're on these low buys. I kind of wonder how Times will keep up with that once we get guns on the board for them, and how Celestial retakes with that.
Yeah.
But of course, it was an expected round for Celestial to win, since Times was on low buy.
And as Nick likes to say, this is really where things start here.
It's you and
Shizu
me.
going for that first point of contact, but that actually forces out the kill contract from NRY. Sentinel on the side of Celestial Titan getting taken down on that engagement, and that's exactly a fight that you want to win out there. Spike plant, same spot here 4 times. And I mean, so far, they've really exploited this C site, but they have another layer to this as well. Dimensional Drift, Overdrive comes through from Pillow Fort, already out onto the site, and they don't have to expend as much util as before. They're aware that they play off the site and right through the dark cover. Check him PC. Pillow Fort able to take down one of the players, but look at this lurk from Ski here. I mean, it might be a little too much to handle. He actually takes one down already going into it. Asgo with a quick trade. They try to fight into it, but it eats you. The bullets rain down, and Celestial Titan cleaned up. And there's a 3rd round for Times.
Yeah, again, I feel like playing off site there is just something that Times does really well, and they're able to trade off each other and get those picks when it matters, and it just wins them rounds. And the lurk from Ski, I don't think he got one. Did he?
Yeah, he got one, and then he got traded by Asgo, I think.
Yeah, still taking one down there and then leaving his team to still fight for long. They have to turn around or focus long. It's a really great lurk by him.
I mean, Times definitely look really good right now. Showing us a really good underdog story here. Approach over towards Garage. This time, Trip bar to deal with, but that shock, it actually does take it down. I mean, this tempo, this round from Times is very telling. I mean, they're just so aware right now that Celestial Titan love to group up on these eco rounds, especially after those 4th round losses.
Cutting through.
Once you find those numbers, you go towards the site where they aren't, and that's A site, and that's exactly what they have their eyes set on. Flash towards back site, gate crash comes through. Kyo is in, plant is down. But Celestial Titan, the retakelers. Now they only have pistols to work with here, Thalya, but I think we've seen some pistols land some pretty good shots in this tournament so far, so I wouldn't count them out too soon. Commences here, starting with CT, but it's a bit too much to deal with. Blue actually able to take one down, and Kyo with the fadeaway towards CT, and they've stopped them right in their tracks. Not able to get through. And so far, also not a lot of damage being found. Bulldog is recovered by Pillow Fort, however, so he could find another kill here. He's gonna opt out. Sliding right out of danger.
Yeah, he might just set a bomb here and not give them the ult point or save the gun. Looks like he's gonna choose to save that Bulldog. Oh,
there we go.
Never mind. Never mind. Yeah, I think in situations like that, when you just have classics, I mean, you can go for damage unless you get a kill, but sometimes it's just really hard with all the util they have, all the firing power, and it's just sometimes it becomes a lot.
Yep. It's a big thing behind this comp as well. Not even just like the mechanical prowess of Times, also the comp itself, which has so much firepower.
Yeah, it's a great comp, and that's why it just looks good when Fnatic runs it, Times runs it. It's just a really aggressive comp with so much util.
Yeah. What I love about this too is this is kind of like a poke the bear type of setup towards C. That drone coming through Garage at the same time NRY. It's actually moving forward from long, but actually gets sound by the tripwire. But Shizu, the shots are landing. The one tap over towards Garage and just turning around and able to get so much value. He has been so good swapping into the Sentinel role. Ski trying to get the clutch there, but the bullets are raining and it's too much for him to handle. 4 on the round for Shizu. An incredible play by him.
Yeah, I think that was someone we talked about in pregame. We were excited to see Shizu on the Cypher and how he'd make it work, and it's just proof that he looks really good on the Senti.
The question mark already in the chat. Once Shizu gets there, you can't get him to stop. This round, gonna get a mid play here. Once again, change of pace, but completely raining bullets on Ichirisu. And Thalya, that's the smokes for times down really early in this round, within like matters of a second.
Yeah, you hate to see your smokes players go out first. It makes taking sites really hard, but they do have 2 duelists, so they can overpower a site.
Yeah. Got those cyber cages as well on Ski. He's got 2 of them.
He's inserting himself on B.
Ooh!
Ooh.
I could have sworn he had that.
Like it was a great shot by Blue.
Yeah.
Those are those shots that you just can't be mad at sometimes.
Yep. Here we go. Yo. It would open things off there. Pillow Fort alone towards C, and these times players are grouping up. They actually have a 2v1 on the C site. Now they're not aware of that quite yet. They're very wary of where these rotations coming through. They want to know the rotation pathing, but Pillow Fort is just so aware. Kyo comes right into the angle. As a 1v1 versus Pillow Fort here, is actually able to take him down.
Time to jump.
Spike gonna get planted, gate crash towards long. I mean, Kyo's in a really good position here, possibly, but the Rolling Thunder, they actually invest that solely to secure this round. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's ults like that that really matter to stall time, especially Rolling Thunder. It's such a good ult in moments like that.
We actually already have our second kill contract online for NRY, and also the Hunter's Fury from XD, and only 1 off that Dimensional Drift. So, I mean, the Thalya times have a lot of resources going into these rounds.
I will be their nightmare.
Yeah, I think with you grab an orb for Yoru and you can get a kill with the Yoru ult, then you can drop your Cypher ult and grab your kill contract, and that's a free kill right there if you hit the shots.
Yep.
And it just depends on how times decides to play it, whether they lean towards the Cypher and the Neon, or if they lean towards the Sova site. They do have a lot of options with that kill contract. It's such a good ult.
What do you think about this, the timing of this timeout?
I don't hate this timeout, actually. I think they're seeing Celestial get that momentum that they need to start winning more rounds, and I think you put the timeout in play, and it kind of halts their momentum for a minute, and that gives times to find their footing on what they want to do and be confident in that decision.
Yeah. That's a good point. Pillow Fort actually opening up. The killer actually able to spot the spike there. Sees it get recovered right in front of him. Now, I mean, that's a lot of information, though, I feel like. He gets that shot. Spike goes down in front of his face. It disappears, and no one is re-peeking. So, looking at the minimap, it looks like Celestial Titan are exactly aware of that. Regrouping over here towards A.
That should give Celestial the information they need to go towards the A side. Because you see that you take one shot with the off and you get one player, and you just want to rotate immediately off of that, unless you take Pillow Fort with the kill contract.
Yeah.
But then that still leaves the Cypher on that side.
This is some masterclass calling from times, though, I have to say.
Drop the spike.
I mean, the moment that they realize, all right, we don't get any contact on C after Spike goes down and we recover it, drone up A, and even the shot comes out, they actually grab some rotations, and then the kill contract to take them off the site. I mean, this looks so good from times right now. It's a stellar mid-rounding, but they're actually able to get onto the site, but the shots don't connect. What in the world just happened? right when you thought TIMEZ made the right decision at the right time, he finds himself at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, that just comes with the ISOL. He grabs the Cypher and he just doesn't kill him, and that leaves the wires up, and
Right there.
they're stuck in the wires, they're stuck in the cages. Pillow Fort is already exploding onto site. The Omen blinds come through, and Celestial just overpowered that site and beat out TIMEZ there.
Yeah. I mean, what a turnaround there that was for them. Information over towards A. Now they spotted that shrouded step, and as always aware of that deep spy cam here, but Keo has worked all the way into garage already. Ooh. Actually, Shizu falling asleep at the steering wheel goes down to the sheriff of Keo. And once again, this actually gives the IGL of TIMEZ a bit of time to figure out where they want to go.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah, it looks like TIMEZ is gonna end A here. And 3 of Celestial's members are still towards C-side.
Yep.
Spike planted.
And Keo's still on that lurk too. It's actually her second kill on the round. Down to 8 HP, but she has done her job thus far. Now, Odechirisu's playing in a precarious position here. He's actually positioned above the box. Now, when they originally heard this shrouded step, they actually thought it might have been towards heaven. And it's been so far since he's done this that they might not even know he's still here. Right into the smoke.
Yeah, I feel like...
Uh-oh. Oh, wow. I mean, he's got the kills, but no time to defuse here.
Yeah, I think Celestial just took a little bit of time on their retake, and time is precious. Sometimes you gotta move a little faster because Spike is ticking.
Trust me, they'll know
Yep.
what hit them. Let's hold positions.
I'm gonna mess up his name, but TIMEZ is Omen. I'm gonna mess that name up. I don't even want to try and say that. He was in a really good position. If they would have pushed out, he could have been really impactful there, but he left as soon as the Neon was pushing through and went into the corner, and they just saw him.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. It's those positions where sometimes when it's too little too late, it actually sways the round. Had they maybe went a little bit faster, I think they probably could have had that retake maybe.
Yeah, I think they stalled it because they were very unsure of where the Omen was. And they didn't know if the Yoru was still behind them. They had no idea.
Who's next?
That's the other nice thing, actually, that I feel like not enough people talk about with this comp as well. The Yoru Omen together, you can put a lot of deception in positioning with that kind of comp as well.
Yeah, if you don't know how to play around that comp, it becomes really tricky and really hard to manage sometimes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just expect the Cyphers to be lurking and the Sentis doing that role, and with the Omen and the Yoru, you could just kind of have free reign of it.
Yep. Commencing into the retake here, but gets deleted through the dark cover at short. Dropping down from heaven. Noritsurisu left onto the site to do the damage, but it's not enough done. Ski left here, able to get the trades. And 2 go down just like that. And Ski with 4 on the round. Hunter's Fury not even needed. What a protection by TIMEZ there. That was really good.
Yeah, I think investing the Silva ult there is not bad. You see Celestial has flooded the site and they're overpowering his teammates, and so just investing that is just one way to secure the round, and even though it wasn't needed, it worked out in their favor.
Yep.
Looks like Celestial's gonna fight for mid here. They're gonna play for contact though.
Right there.
Ooh, look at this. I mean, yeah. This is that Al drone just clearing everything out, but I mean, Blue is still tucked here. Did they see him?
No, I don't think they saw him with that Al drone. I think they saw the Omen and the Neon, and they decided, okay, let's go take A.
Hunter's Fury is a bit too wide from Blood here. Able to land 80 damage onto Keo, but that's about it. And as he's trying to leave the site, and our Y caught out with his melee. And now 4 left standing on either side. Do have a duelist, smokes for either side. Plenty to work off of here, and Keo in a bit of a cheeky smoke here towards short. Look at this tech, actually. Actually gonna play inside of it. And as it dissipates, Keo going for the shot. Able to land one down, looking for the wall bang onto the next, but not able to manage it. Orichirisu, quick shrouded step towards the right side. Paranoia onto the spike. They actually all get blinded, but he can't land the shots. And because it's half, the defuse comes right on through. He overcommitted to that too much there.
Yeah, it was a really nice try from him. I feel like if Keo gets more than one there, the round becomes a little more winnable for them. But just the angle there and the way they're playing is really hard to fight off that box.
Yep.
He originally takes down Pillow Fort, but he can't turn fast enough to get the other player, and it just becomes a mess. And that's what happens in these rounds. Just unfortunate.
Once again, Pillow Fort posted up on the C-long angle. And actually hits the leg of Keo.
Right there.
Looks like their breach got some valuable information from Window and decided to fall back onto the B side.
One thing I actually like about the way TIMEZ are playing this attack as well, with their utility, is they're not afraid to just invest that Al drone anywhere. I mean, because once they go to the sites, I mean, they have enough firepower to get in there with just the recon ball alone. So I like that they actually use that Al drone to just like get basic information rather than always expending it towards the execs. I think that's a really nice touch to the way that they're playing for their map control.
Yeah, having the two duelists definitely leaves your initiator able to use their Al drone for kind of whatever feels needed in that moment. And sometimes it's just to clear space or get some information, and it works out really well for them.
One enemy remaining. Spike down, C.
And Shizu was actually able to recover all these kills over towards long. Just a bloodbath right under him. But Ski, last one left. Shizu looking for the ace. They go into the angle. Doesn't check the corner though. Ski getting away with some kills there, but round not gonna go his way.
Switching sides.
6-6 half. I mean, Thalya, I knew we were gonna get a close game here, but I mean, this is pretty close.
Yeah, I feel like the way the TIMEZ was playing, I kind of expected more rounds out of them. But Celestial just had an answer for them and came back and has tied the game. So I'm excited to see how the series goes.
Yeah.
Right here.
I mean, the other thing about it as well, I mean, it's an attack-sided map, so Celestial Titan on their map pick, you know, finishing things off on attack, and that being a half that I know them of being good on, is definitely looking good for them if they can close it off. But if TIMEZ get this map, this makes me nervous for Celestial Titan, on the contrary.
Yeah, I feel like you see the double duelist from TIMEZ and you kind of just expect a little more rounds because that's such an aggressive comp. So if Celestial does run away from it, I'll be surprised.
Yeah.
One dead.
Shizu, it's a way to start things off. Spam not able to connect, but it's all they needed. That information towards mid, and they now realize mid is being fought for. Comfortably coming out over towards A. XD actually might be able to take a lot of HP down from the planter there, but as the plant comes down, actually goes towards Hell, almost kills him, but Asgo, the one planting, gonna get that spike down. XD backing up. I mean, if this pistol conversion goes in the way of Celestial Titan, it looks a bit dangerous. Fault line to come through. Deny the CT choke point for just a second, but Ski was in the perfect passive position to actually deal with that. And the flash once again coming out. He's trying to pressure all of the angles, but XD landing really nice shots over towards short. Another one over towards Graffiti. And right now, one left hell. It's only Shizu. And this time he can't close it off. And TIMEZ convert the pistol round.
Yeah, that was a really good retake from TIMEZ. Shizu didn't have a trip for flank, which gave Omen that entire flank space to just take, and then they kind of huddled up Hell. And that's just an awkward angle to fight in general on Hell. I wish they would have been more on like Graffiti or like Tuck Short, like fighting together, but they opted to go for playing in Hell and kind of just cost them that round.
Yeah. I think being bunched up there is tough, especially when you're going against that ISO who can throw that uppercut there. You've got shock darts that can come in from the Sova as well.
The Omen blinds, the vulnerables, it's just...
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot to manage on Hell.
Celestial Titan stacking the guns here. Ski, he's going to be the one meeting the heat this round. You see Chirisu coming into assist. Gonna try to get a line towards this garage space. He's got the Marshall in hand. Peeks right into it, and there it is. Asgo goes down, and that is the spike. Pillow Fort not landing the shots, but at the end is able to take him down. So far, the Marshall doing really good work from Chirisu. But 2 left standing from Celestial Titan. And RY on the receiving end here, but the spike is down towards garage, and I mean, the task is actually in the hands of Celestial Titan.
Yeah, I think TIMEZ is questioning kind of what went wrong. They have the bomb.
One enemy remaining. 30 seconds left.
Timing. All right. And RY taking down the last shot there. Pillow Fort. I mean, he looks really good with the Sheriff, but nonetheless, TIMEZ still going to keep 3 left standing. And not too much HP going from them as well, so Econ stabilized. This is quite the timeout of all time.
Yeah. I mean, you haven't bought any guns yet? Unless they are. No, they have full buys here. I don't know why the timeout's called here. Like you said again, this is where rounds get started when you, after you lose, you know, a pistol and then you go into the other team's buy and you're just saving. The round after that is where the games begin, and so this timeout is kind of questionable.
I do know one thing, though, about Parks. He's very, very strategic. And I'm sure what he's trying to do now is basically just set up the pacing for Celestial Titan in this half, which I guess is good, right? Stop times while they feel like they might be ahead, right? You know, we tied off the first half 6-6. We just got pistol. We just won our eco pretty good, had 3 standing. So this is, I guess, to throw a little bit of ice on the hands of TIMEZ and also to give his team a little bit of structure to move forward with. Just definitely could work out in their favor, but that's a timeout they won't have later.
Yeah, I also think that timeout there also leaves TIMEZ questioning why the timeout gets called, so it's kind of a mental game there too sometimes for the enemy team. You see that timeout called and you're like, what could they possibly be talking about? There were no guns on the board, they didn't lose anything. I don't hate the timeout.
Cutting through.
It's working out so far. They actually take out the ISO on the side of TIMEZ and RY out of the equation, the star player. Which is good here because also, Thalya, look at where Shizu has found himself. Yeah, all the way up B.
Yeah, I think TIMEZ is over-rotated here. If Shizu can insert himself onto B, that leaves the Cypher alone and there are 4 towards A.
And I love this regroup as well. And Celestial Titan starting to look like Celestial Titan again. With that leadership from Parks coming in that timeout. Looks like he's given them the right answer as well. Look how passive this lurk is from Shizu as well. That's it. Takes out the rotator. I mean, it's just textbook lurk so far from him. He's looking at strike once again. Looking for it. Goes on to the angle. Actually gets hit in the body with the Marshall there. Goes into the angle. They're actually investing so much time into this right now. Only 5 bullets left to deal with it. Goes off of the angle.
One enemy remaining.
And there it is. Takes him down. 1 bullet left in the chamber to do the damage, but there it is. Richidisu finally taking him down. But I mean, Shizu has done everything for Celestial Titan in this post-plant scenario. He's kept both of these players here the entire time. Nowhere left to hide, nowhere left to run. And Richidisu goes down.
Yeah, I think those are those lurks we've talked about from Shizu that are really impactful. He's just patient and tedious about it. Not making any presence, just the spy cam. No one spotted him, and he's just inserted there waiting for the rotates out. And then TIMEZ decided to fight Shizu instead of fighting Foresight, which, in my opinion, is a little questionable.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always calm that he's there and, you know, mind and go fight everyone else, but it's just an impactful lurk. Looks
That
like
long smoke
Celestial
over
might
towards
be
A.
going for a B hit. Maybe trying to
Yeah.
go through garage to C.
That would be a really cool thing to do this round. We haven't seen a lot of B hits this game.
Yeah, I think a lot of teams shy away from B because it's such a small fight zone is what I like to call it. Battlefield area. It's just have small corners. Just be tucked up. If your owl drone's not clearing or you don't have a Sova online, it's really hard to get into B and retake it. So a lot of teams kind of opt out of B, but it looks like Celestial might be trying to go for B here.
Yeah, and XD will confirm that information as well. So you have these little jiggle peeks over from A-Link. A pretty good setup right here. Cypher's got the cam for garage. The walkout trips for C. ISO and Omen posted up towards A. All I's dotted,
30
all
seconds
T's
left.
crossed, but he actually spotted that walk-in. He might walk right into the crosshair here. He does, but XD falls asleep at the steering wheel. Actually doesn't take down Pillow for it, and that completely opens up the opportunity on this B site. And not only that, it put them in a comfortable position to be able to plant and get off-site and play from comfortable post-plant positions as well, but Pillow for it, he wants more than that. Ski, able to take one down, get the Neural Theft invested here, and then RY on the flip end, trying to toy with the peaks onto site, but Ski answers from elsewhere, and it leaves Shizu in the clutch situation, Guardian in hand. Spike not quite planted for him, but Chirisu takes him down before he can get into the site, and there's a defuse for TIMEZ.
Yeah, I think XD, how do you say? XD?
Yep.
I think him getting that information of them crossing through to B, and that was just valuable information for TIMEZ to set up for that B retake, and they were very aware of that Shizu lurk, so.
I mean, this is really close. Right now, it just seems like it's just anyone's game, especially if this round, I mean, yes, TIMEZ have the upper hand in terms of the buy for this round, but if after this Celestial Titan can find some success, I mean, they can easily equalize things.
Yeah, we've seen some valuable thrifties out of Celestial. They seem to know how to play these rounds out very well, very smart. I'm kind of excited to see what they do. Looks like they're leaning more towards C.
Yeah, and I love this setup from Ski as well. He's got the double kill trip setup. He's got the cage on top of the box.
Cage triggered. No more
There it
cage
is.
triggered.
Cage gonna get triggered here. He's gonna play into the site, trying to slip through. Neon wall, but it's a bit too much for him to handle. Still gets a kill before he goes down, so some impact found out of it. And it looks like Keo going in for the fight here. Flash comes right on through, but the shot's not able to fully connect. Chirisu and XD left in the clutch here. Neural Theft actually comes right on through as well. And I mean, look at where Shizu's at.
I don't think
Able to lurk
TIMEZ
up
is
towards
aware
B.
of this, of Shizu being in this position. They're just
Yep,
gonna
they gotta
opt to
save.
save their guns.
No charges.
Ooh, they're getting pressured here. Might not be able to actually save. Yeah, wow. Okay, so Celestial Titan go hunting for those guns and take them down at the end. And honestly, that's a pretty good response. Even though there's a lot of eco for Celestial Titan, TIMEZ definitely still in it.
I think we just talked about how Celestial Titans can turn those weird buys into these valuable wins that they need in those moments.
Yep.
That's just proof. Shizu's inserted on B. He's lurked all the way up. The Neon ult comes in, and it was just a beautiful take from them. Looks like Celestial's gonna opt to do that again. Go fight the Cypher.
Yeah, and I mean, Ski is in a really hard position to actually defend that. And he's played towards that right side, at least from the attacker's perspective, almost every time. So it makes it difficult, but Adichirisu actually went to the head of blue with the Sheriff. It's actually able to even things out between both teams. And RY following up actually onto Blood. And the double tap re-engaged there, but Pillow Fort responds with 2 of his own. Off the back of that, looking for 4. Looking for the ace now. Gets off of the angle. An alert from Shizu could easily shut this down. Well, he wants to go for the knife instead. A little bit of trolling there, but there it is. The ace for Pillow Fort, and they take it away.
Please don't hug me.
Yeah, I feel like that Cypher on C, it's either he can switch up his wires so the Sova can't fully break them, but he's still gonna send that Aldrin in, which is, being a Sova player, really valuable for your team, but also very annoying for your Senti players with the constant having to switch everything up.
Yeah.
Or they could just have Keo playing the early rotate to help out Cypher instead of leaving him fully alone. They're actually going to opt to go for A this round. Even though C's been working out for them really well. They do have their Breach ult online. I'm curious to see if they invested this round.
Now that you mention it, there's so many ults across the board. This round might be
This round is
scrappy here.
definitely anyone's round to win.
Yeah.
You have the Yoru ult for retake, you have a kill contract for Lantern, the Sova ult, you have the Breach. They actually decide not to use the Breach ult.
Ooh, Puncher's Fury does come out from XD though. I mean, Celestial Titan playing it smart. Tap onto that, not going for it, but there it is. As you said, right off the spike tap, they actually go in with the kill contract and then Dimensional Rift to try to find out the positioning of that player. And they're able to actually spam off the back of that at times, using these ultimates really well in tandem, but Shizu on that lurk, once again, someone to deal with. Uppercut, fends him off for just a second, 39 HP. Left on the board, and they're still looking towards this position. Still going for the site. He is such a thorn right now, and Pillow Fort still landing off all the shots in Blood to finish things off in a 10th round on the board for Celestial Titan.
I'm over.
Yeah, it looked really well from times, and it was played really well. It was just that Shizu lurk that is so impactful in those rounds where he becomes pesky when you're trying to retake something, and it's just textbook. It's just beautiful from him.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to see out of your Sentinel. You want to see him inserted into those pesky areas, because then it's disrupting the other team. And you can't ask for much more out of your Senti player, really. They did invest quite a lot of ults that round, so that is going to hurt times at the end. They still have Neural Theft and Omen ult.
I just realized Celestial Titans still have so many ults as well.
Yeah,
And
they actually didn't
Overdrive.
invest their Breach ult
Yeah.
or their Neon. They didn't invest any ults that round. It was just Shizu being pesky, and it wins them that round.
Wow. The one player on the team that doesn't have an ultimate actually helps them win that round there. Now, that says really bad things for TIMEZ, though, here, in my opinion, because if you are going into a round and you invest that much, I think they invested all three, Hunter's Fury, Dimensional Drift, and the kill contract in that round alone. And if you're not able to win that round and not a single ultimate was invested by Celestial Titan, you've got to go to the drawing board. And
Yeah,
presumably
their
that timeout
timeout
is what that
was-
is.
Yeah, that's what that timeout was probably about. Just how pesky Shizu was, and they invested so much ult that when you're playing, it just becomes costly.
Yep. And once again, Ski finds himself in the same position. Gets taken out, but Kyo, trying to play into the corner, gets found out by the Hunter's Fury, which doesn't just do damage, it also scans. So she had to reposition off the back of that. Shizu right into garage here, and I mean, they're setting him up like he's a duelist player. Flash comes through. He gets taken down with the Sheriff of NRY. Once again, looking for damage here
Last player standing.
to the angle. The superstar duo 4 times taken out of the equation here, and Kyo going to save the Vandal.
Pelifoot's
Or
very
not.
aware of his reroll.
Go, go, go!
They are gonna hunt for this gun.
Uh-oh.
And that.
There it is.
We doing this or what?
Yeah, you mentioned how they were setting up Shizu as a duelist, and I mean, again, it's textbook really. Looks like a really star player in those moments. Now he's not just lurking; he's actually getting in their face and letting them know that he's there to disrupt what's going on. They still have Celestial still has their breach ult and their neon ult.
Which is crazy, because those are some of the 2 best ults in this map right now.
Yeah, I feel like they haven't felt the need to invest that breach ult because they just kill the Cypher off and then they have the site because they know that alone.
Yeah.
And they have so much stall util on site that there's really not any use for it to be used for post plan. It'll probably be used for match point to secure a round win.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I noticed that's a big elephant in the room for Celestial Titan is that TIMEZ love taking control of this mid space. Now, obviously, Celestial Titan look really good when it comes to post plants, but do you think this mid is something that they need to deal with at some point, or do you think that they can just ignore this given the way their retakes are going?
I feel like TIMEZ fights for it a little bit. They get one pick and then they kind of fight. They really don't do much more off of that. And I feel like if I'm TIMEZ, I'm gonna continue to fight through mid. You want to take more space.
My ultimate is
Yeah.
cage triggered.
But I mean, it works out in Celestial's favors. They have valuable retakes and they're really good. So I don't see a point for them to fight for mid, lose more bodies.
I mean, right there, Shizu not able to get the diffuser in the cages there. They actually run away with that one for TIMEZ, and I mean, it's getting pretty close here. I definitely think that mid control is a staple for TIMEZ on this map so far, and it helped them get those first bloods as well. You saw Kyo just slip right into window and take down Pillow for it.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing with having a Yoru on this map. You can get up into window and maybe get a kill or two, and then you just TP out, and there's nothing that other team can do about it.
Yep.
So maybe in the end, Celestial might want to fight forward to try and pick off this Yoru. But picking off the Neon for Celestial was very impactful for them because he has been the round opener of just invading the space of sight.
And I mean, look at where Shizu is. I mean, the lurk just gets better every time. He's got a tripwire for his A, and he's all the way back towards spawn this time, and he knows they're going to clear this out. So he's able to just take an advantageous gunfight and even pop the camera off the back of that. I mean, his Sentinel is absolutely exceptional right now. So tough to deal with. And as they go into the retake, though, Times do have the man advantage here. Contingency goes through, so they actually can't even contest that defuse. They're going to have to fight forward ahead of it. Rolling Thunder comes through. He's got it half there. He's sticking it right in front of their faces, and they take it. Times tying things up, diffusing right in front of Celestial Titan.
Yeah, and they invested their breach ult there. That's just an unfortunate round loss for Celestial. When you invest such big ults like that you've been holding on to, and the round kind of slips away from you, it does hurt in the end. But you mentioned that Shizu was taking those fights down mid, and the one thing that I do like from him is that he switches it up all the time. He's not just always fighting the same angle, he's pestering somewhere else all the time.
Time to jump.
Yeah.
My ult is ready.
Spike
It's funny
down
too because
A.
he started off playing that duelist role, but going on to Sentinel, dare I say, I feel like Shizu has become one of the best Sentinels in this tournament
Spike down, attacker
after
spawn.
switching to it and not playing it first.
Yeah, he's become a really good Senti player. I mean, there's kind of, in my opinion, a star player for every role in this league.
Yeah.
And Shizu kind of just takes that Senti role for me, where he's so impactful, pestering different areas, and he shines on that role.
And regrouping
Celestial
now
is
is
left in a 3v5 to try
Yeah.
and take these fights. Both of their initiators are gone.
this is hard though.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
with no initiators and just smokes and a duelist, I mean, it's doable, it is winnable, but it does become very
30
hard.
seconds left.
Ooh. Alright, Shizu actually winning that out, and Pillow Fort, what in the world? He gets 2, then 3. The spray transfer, with the last one being through the dark cover, has
I know
completely
exactly
turned
where
things
you are.
around for Celestial Titan here. 3v5 it was. And Kyo left to keep Times in the map here. I mean, what a surprising turn of events. Even Shizu winning the fight out in the kill contract. The superstar duo for Celestial Titan looking to make it happen. Kyo with the task. Spike is planted towards backside. She's going to have to get a move on. Fake gate crash comes through there. Where the positioning? Going to have to tap one of the spike and force out a fight here. First tap comes through. Pillow Fort goes for the swing and a 4th on the round. And that is it. Celestial Titan 12 have regained that lead.
Match point.
Yeah, again, like I said, the rounds are winnable without your initiators. If your duelist pops off like that, I mean, anything is possible for those rounds.
Wow.
And then Shizu winning that kill contract is really big for them. Leaving Kyo alone, and they knew he was on flank after the wire was broken. Just valuable information from them, and it was fairly well played by Celestial.
Time to jump.
It all comes down to this. Times finding themselves on their back foot. This is the last round of regulation, so Times are going to have to win this round to force it into overtime. Already the warning shots coming from CT. Pillow Fort trying to look for a connection through the dark cover. Not able to find it just yet. Aldrone trying to get the information to come into this one, but NRY actually opens this up with the first shot. Goes on towards backside, and the bodies start falling. Celestial Titan can't handle it, but 2 going onto their side. And the trades looked good for just a second there, but Blood, as they wrap around the site, they take him down. The defuse comes through, and we are going into overtime.
Yeah, it just became too much for Celestial.
Switching sides.
They got overpowered by the util coming from Garage and coming from CT. Shizu was actually being fought through mid by Kyo. And so he opted to not fight that with the Judge versus Vandal dynamic and went to site and just kind of got caught with his cage out.
Yeah. And I mean, no matter how this game goes down, Thalya, I feel like it's safe to say both of these teams have showed up and showed out.
Yeah, that was something that we mentioned was that we knew this was going to be a good series coming into it. But overtime in the first map, I think we're really in for a treat this series.
Yep. Could be the first playoffs game that goes the distance as well.
Gotta go.
Pillow fort. Looking for the early peek there, but gonna play it a bit safe. And tuck tail. Pressure over towards garage. Actually looks like TIMEZ want to fake things over towards C rather. Saw that smoke go over towards garage and the contingency go towards backside, but it looks like Celestial Titan aren't really budging. Yeah. This is really good, actually. If they can get some picks here, Pillow Fort actually gets one. Blood with two. Wow.
Down A.
And both players that are anchoring that site were able to get the kills. So Celestial Titan keeping a hold of that lead with the flawless.
Yeah, I think I don't know what went wrong for TIMEZ. I think now they're just left to question kind of where it went wrong. They had the fake, but Celestial just didn't budge, and I don't think they had enough information to kind of go back to C. They knew Cypher played C, and I don't think they expected 2 to still be sitting on A. That was just a good hold by Celestial. There is a spam with an Onin through a link.
I like that spam.
And they have
That's a good
ISO
one.
inserted down short, and Shizu didn't put his spy cam for it, so they're very unaware that ISO has the space.
Yep. That'll give them a lot of info towards the mid round as well. Oh. Timing.
Looks like TIMEZ is over-rotated here a bit.
Especially where Shizu's at too. Oh! They didn't even check the corner.
Completely missed him.
I mean, it's just going to be another situation where they're going to hit A, and Shizu is in a perfect position to just
30
take
seconds
down
left.
the rotations. First smoke comes through, confirms the present in RY, popping the double tap there, tries to go for the spray, but can't land it. Gets taken down and out of the equation, but XD with the Odin from heaven is actually able to take down the spike planter. So he's done a pretty good amount of stall, but look at Ski right now. He's so aware, and Shizu still wins out that fight. Shock darts from XD. Going over towards the plant. Actually fends things off for just a second here, but TIMEZ with an incredible response. And we're going into a second overtime.
Yeah. Again, these are these rounds where sometimes moving
Switching sides.
slow
Overtime.
costs you. Sometimes you want to move a little faster in these rounds, in my opinion, where you want to get that information. Shizu wasn't spotted at all. He got one pick, but Kyo turned around and handled him. The lurk didn't come through, and there was just a fight for survival on site with the retake coming in, and I think Celestial got a little overpowered by TIMEZ.
Bit of a tempo change here. This is the point of the game where you start to see both teams, because I mean, this is elimination. This is to go into that lower final. This is for a chance to try to punch a ticket to the grand final. And so both of these teams, I presume, at this point, I mean, you're just digging deep out of that strat book at this point, pulling out anything you know will work.
Yeah, but Celestial is fully rotated off of A, and I don't think they're aware of this A hit here with bomb rotating over, but TIMEZ is unsure if they want to go for it.
Yeah. I mean, TIMEZ, they play this ISO fake on C so well, I feel like. But they've added a different layer to it every single time. And Shizu, once again, on the lurk, takes one down and puts another one onto 30 HP. Or that was Ski, rather. And now here we are, going into the retake. Aftershock comes through towards Graffiti, but XD playing the angle well, doesn't get cleared out. Shots not able to connect just at first, but Ichirisu right from behind. Thorn in the backside. Takes down 2 in blood. Doesn't have a lot of time to go for the defusal. Paranoia completely distorts his view, and now TIMEZ have gained the lead.
Switching sides.
Yeah, I think having Ski inserted there, we haven't seen a lot of Ski lurking, so that's totally unexpected by Celestial for Ski to be sitting there. He's normally on site with the team, and so just switching that momentum for their Cypher to take that space there is valuable. He does valuable damage. He takes 1, he gets another one at 30 HP, and kind of halts their retake.
Yeah. And at this point, I mean, both teams are playing to their nerves. I mean, this is a really tough position to be in. It's for elimination. Both teams want that first map in the series that matters most in their tournament run so far. TIMEZ on map point, Celestial Titan. The ones that need to make it happen. Keo in the corner. The suppressive fire actually forces him out of position. And Keo able to get the first one. What a way to start for TIMEZ. And they may have just done it. Celestial Titan. 4 members left standing. Spy cam tapped here. He still has that contact. Shizu on the lurk, this time getting found out. Aldrone clearing him out. This time the flash to come right on through, but he still gets a pick of his own at Ichirisu to get the trade immediately. And the sight hit comes towards C. Ski still able to take one down towards default. And left to keep them in this first map is Blood, but he can't do it. 15 to 13 for TIMEZ. Wow.
Wow, I think that Silver Dart in Garage was so impactful. It sent their breach into an uncomfortable position, and Keo was there for that kill, and it kind of just opened the round. Silver was low.
Yeah, I mean, that was an insane map right there. Thalya, we knew we were going to get a really close game between these two, but I did not think it was going to be that back-to-back. Or neck and neck, rather. That was so good.
Yeah, it was amazing to watch from both of them. I think going into this next map, I think Celestial's gonna have to pull some strats from deep down, and they want to stay in this tournament.
100%, yeah. I mean, this right here was a way to start. And I mean, Celestial Titan, definitely watching the way that they play is not something that I expected out of them, you know, coming into this tournament, to be the ones to actually go down. If TIMEZ win this matchup, Thalya, I just want to talk about the thing that we're actually up against here. If TIMEZ win this matchup, they've secured at least 3rd place minimum in the tournament. Now, from watching them starting in the group stage, do you think you would be seeing them secure 3rd place?
No, I think when I started watching, I think TIMEZ was the underdog for me. I didn't really expect much. I think they looked really sloppy in their group stages. They were winning, but by these like weird wins and just like the way they were playing, I didn't expect it to get this far for them. And now I'm kind of a fan of them to see how far they to get 3rd place in a tournament where you were kind of it says a lot for you as a team and how you went from group stages and how you come back, you know?
It really does, yeah. But we're going to find out if that reality is painted on the 2nd map when we return. See you then. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the VLE Challengers Cup 2 Playoffs Day 6. And we're coming back into the TIMEZ versus Celestial Titan matchup. TIMEZ just clinching that map in the second overtime, 15-13. What a wonderful Haven we just saw. Now we're taking things over to Sunset. And this is going to be quite interesting here, Thalya, because, I mean, this is TIMEZ' map pick. The fact that TIMEZ were able to beat Celestial Titan on their map pick and we're moving on to TIMEZ' map pick makes me a bit nervous here. But do you think this could go to the distance?
I'm kind of hoping it goes the distance, Robbie. But I am really excited to see the Kyo initiator. I really am. Because I've played against it, but I've never actually got to, like, watch it fully. And I'm excited to see that, but I do hope it goes the distance.
Yeah, I think it'd be really good for both teams. I mean, because to be honest with you, both teams have a bit to prove, right? They're both in the bottom bracket. You know, the game that we saw earlier between DSS and RPG, they had nothing to prove. Matter of fact, both of those teams didn't drop a single map in the whole tournament so far coming into that matchup. But on this one, these teams cannot say the same. So they definitely have things to figure out going into this, and I definitely think that it is a narrative to pay attention to. Speaking of, I want to talk about our match MVP from that game right there, Pillow Fort. I mean, what can't this man do? Every single time and time again, he is able to show up and show out in the server. And although Celestial Titan didn't win the map, Pillow Fort won the leaderboard at the end of the day.
Yeah, Pillow Fort is a really, really phenomenal duelist. I think we've got to see him on the Neon and the Rays and all these different, like, weird duelist picks. And he's phenomenal on every single role. He's really impactful in rounds that are needed. He's a great entry for sight. So he is the MVP in my eyes.
Yeah, an incredible, exceptional job done from him. And I mean, we're taking things over to Sunset, and obviously one of the biggest pieces that I expect to see here are two ciphers. And the reason I say that is because we just saw two ciphers on Haven, and that was Shizu and Ski. So I just want to look at these back to back here. I mean, both of them did so well. Matter of fact, Thalya, on the overall leaderboard from the Haven game, these two players came in second and third for ACS behind Pillow Fort. And so this Cypher versus Cypher has been really entertaining to watch, because I think both of them found just as much impact as the next guys. You see the stat lines are like barely different here. Shizu just a bit above him, but Sunset, this is another thing. You get those Cypher lurks, and I expect to see it here.
Yeah, I think Ski and Shizu are really impactful on that Cypher. And I think it's really hard to play Cypher to a high level because it comes with the patience, the lurking, and making sure that everything is kind of calculated and coordinated. And I definitely do see why they were second and third on the leaderboard, because they just had such impactful rounds with those lurks and those kills and their setups. Just setting their team up was really great from them.
Yeah, I mean, the setups were just exceptional, and they've gotten so much impact there, and I expect to see a lot of the same going into this map, given that it's going to be Sunset, and we're going to get a look into the agents here. Kyo already locking in that Gecko, our favorite Gecko.
Yeah, I think Kyo's really impactful on that Gecko. When you watch them, they're amazing. Really, one of the better initiators in this tournament, alongside Snickerdoodle, but
I have a bit of an Astra Omen hover here, but I do expect to see the Jet come out from NRY, or the Rays rather, or Neon. Got some funny business here, yeah? There it is, there's the Neon. We actually get the KO Gecko from Celestial Titan, which I think this is what they played last time, and my comment on that was that's an initiator configuration that you don't see often on this map. What do you think about the KO Gecko?
I'm not a huge fan of the KO on this map, actually. I prefer the Sova and the Fades, or the Geckos and the Fades, or Gecko and Fade, like all these different, but I've never seen a whole lot of people play the KO. If Celestial can make it work, I'm excited to see how they play it, but for me, I don't see a KO valuable here unless it's for the Cypher, but the way that they've changed Sunset, the trips are now easier to break for an initiator or anyone on site.
100%, yeah. I definitely think that you're right. I don't think KO is a big priority, given that you can easily exploit what the Cyphers are able to do. I mean, we've seen it work 100%. There's times that I've seen the KO on this map. I agree with you, though. I wouldn't quite frankly opt in for a KO on this map. I love the Gecko breaches. I love the Sova breaches, even the Fade breaches. We're seeing that actually happen in Tier 1 teams right now. These off-season events, Red Bull Homeground, and a lot of these other invitationals over in Asia, we're seeing that like Fade breach come out. So definitely configuration to get used to here, but normal for Celestial Titan for sure, especially Blue on that KO. I mean, he's really good at the agent. So one thing I do want to say about that KO in juxtaposition of the Breach here that they're playing is, even though Breach has like super duper long range support, there's in some ways that he can be slightly limited though, like in where you can actually throw his flashes, right? It has to be off of a wall, and even though there's plenty of walls to get that off of, it's just a limitation inherently. Whereas KO, with his flashbangs, you can actually like throw them towards literally anywhere. It's literally a free throw ability. So definitely a lot more things that you can get out of it for sure.
Yeah, I think that's why I enjoy KOs on certain maps, because of that utility. It's all throwable. It's all in your power with like a breach. It's really hard to get those values because breach flashes, you have to only throw them on walls, and certain objects with KO flashes, you can kind of just throw them over walls and get that space with someone blinded behind. And that's why I like the KOs. I've never really seen it on this map, especially Tier 1. You're seeing a lot of the Fade, like you said. And I think some teams are still playing the Gecko and some have switched to the Breach Sovas. So I'm excited to see how he plays it.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. It looks like he actually already has that 0 point lined up for B main as well, which is another really good thing about this too, because I mean Sunset, especially in those eco rounds, Thalya, is a lot of teams love to go for that like B main space, whether you throw the dark cover towards B main and like get the paranoia from market and go for a fights there, that 0 point just shuts that down every time. Or if you go towards like A, right, and you have the neon just completely sliding past the actual ult orb, you also have the 0 point to shut that down. So good things that can, you know, kind of counter the comp.
Yeah, there's definitely some, what I like to call pesky business with KO because of that 0 point. If it's landing on something that you cannot shoot, you're out of abilities for a good 10 seconds, and he becomes really annoying and frustrating. And you may need a slide, or you may need a smoke. And it does, if he can hit the Cypher, he does shut that. So he does become kind of pesky in these situations.
100%, yeah. And here we are, hopping right into Sunset here. TIMEZ versus Celestial Titan. This is map 2, folks. If you didn't see map 1, TIMEZ took it 15-13 on Haven. Celestial Titan's map pick. We're now on TIMEZ's map pick on Sunset. Pistol round commences.
I must wait a moment.
0 point towards B. No funny business there. It also looks like a complete halt over here towards A as well, and a regroup here over towards Tiles.
Yeah, I think something we like to see out of Sunset a lot is that fight for mid, especially on pistols, because top mid is such a close spot that you can get a lot of info and impactful kills there. If they can somehow get up into top mid and kill both initiators off, TIMEZ has no more information.
Yep.
But it looks like Celestial's gonna opt to go for B.
Yeah. And Blue was actually the one that got most of this information. Most of the time, slips right on through. First point of contact made on site, 0 point to follow up, but Ski goes on to the deeper angle. Actually able to take him down. Wingman going for the spike plant, does take it down, but as go right through the dark cover. He's able to trade one out. Ikunisu still towards front sight. Not able to do the damage, but Shizu on this lurk, but it's a bit too little, too late. Wingman is already on the spike, and there's 3 defending it. And there's no time left into this one. TIMEZ converting the pistol.
Yeah, it was just a great retake from TIMEZ there. Like we mentioned, KO on that Gecko is so powerful, and they play that role so well that they just set them up for a great retake. And the early Cypher lurk from Shizu is a little questionable for me. I don't really like to see my Sentis lurking on pistol round, but I think if Celestial could have bought more time for him on site, it would have been impactful, so...
Never going out.
Ooh, Ichirisu. Really good escape plan there. It's tagged out by the Dizzy. Shrouded set to reposition. Bit of damage onto him, but doesn't matter.
It looks like Celestial's gonna try and fight for A. The time's already here.
Spike down A.
And it's so difficult as well. It's such a hard choke to get through, especially when you're playing against a Neon and a Breach. Just double stun comp there. XD repositioned with the Outlaw towards CT. Looking for that elbow presence. Now they backed up. They conceded a lot of space here. But, I mean, it works to their advantage though. That fight wasn't looking too good over towards main with one going down.
Yeah, you never want to see
30
your
seconds
initiator go
left.
down, but sometimes in situations like that, you want your initiator to go down instead of your duelist, so maybe it pays off for times.
Yeah,
Spike planted.
plant to come through. And now TIMEZ put into the position to take the retake, but they were pretty good at it on Haven. They're looking to make it happen here again on Sunset. Pillow Fort tagged out there. The dark cover actually lands onto him after shock invested. Lots of resources to get him out of that position, and it actually works for them, but the shots from NRY not able to connect. And Shizu actually gets the kill through the smoke there. Looking for another, not able to land it with the Sheriff and Blood. Right now, all he's got to do is play around the corner. If he can get the kill onto it, Ichirisu, he actually makes it possible, but there it is, the stick to come through. And TIMEZ taking the second round away, but Celestial Titan doing great damage.
Yeah, they did amazing damage there. I just think their retake became really sloppy. You saw Blood ended up killing Asgo with the Gecko Molly there, and I think it bounced off the wall, and there was a little confusion there, but those things happen. I would like to see Celestial fight for mid here. Since TIMEZ does have these lower grade weapons, they're definitely going to become more, I don't know the word, like more aggressive to push up.
Yeah.
Like, as you can see, NRY and the Breach is pushed up, and they have so much space on A.
Oh, and that little jump spot from Blood actually spots that out too.
I think Celestial's gonna lean more towards B, knowing that there's a duelist Breach combo on A main.
And Ski not able to do the damage. Pillow Fort takes him down, but it eats Shirisu with the trade, and Blue off the back of that as well.
Spike planted.
Mosh Pit denying any presence to come towards backside. Contesting towards market right now, and they're getting a bit pinched onto the site here. Definitely a possible endeavor for TIMEZ here if they can get this first pick from NRY. Shots not able to connect at first, but Shizu on that lurk from mid, as always, able to find so much impact there. Shots still landing, but the damage is done. Celestial Titan do grab their first round win.
Yeah, again, that Cypher lurk just becomes really impactful in those situations. They're flooding outside, and here just comes Cypher through mid, and no one's aware. There's no trip, there's no hold for him, and just happily walking up. But it looks like Ski is gonna stop that push by putting that trip there. So CLST is gonna have a little tougher time fighting for it.
Here.
Ski once again, fending off this site. There's that 0 point like we were talking about. All his trap wires out of the equation here. And pretty soon they're going to have to learn to position someone to actually be able to take that down on these takes. Because, I mean, he's just completely nullifying the Cypher presence on this site. As going Shizu. Able to start things off on this retake to take one. But XD finds an aftershock kill onto Pillow Fort. Somewhere low bro towards the back site. Clear things out. Nothing found, but 4 still left standing for the side of Celestial Titan. And TIMEZ, bodies are dropping all over the place. Keo left to do any damage. Takes down the opposing Gecko, but Shizu with 3 on the round. Lands off the wall bang headshot to confirm the second round for Celestial Titan.
Yeah, that hold from Celestial was really good as TIMEZ was overpowering the site. The aftershock kills, the blinds, the mollies, just all the util used there. It looked like a perfect retake, but in the end, it's just who holds their ground better.
Oh, looks like we're gonna get a quick elbow take here. This flash lineup from Blue. Pillow
And they
Fort.
have 4 stacked towards B. Just Omen on site by himself.
Yeah. I mean, Orochirishu is actually in a really good spot. I feel like as long as this smoke could slip right through it, the Cypher not aware of the possibility of the positioning. He plays for the discipline, but Shizu just turns around at the right time. And within a blink of an eye, everybody drops to the side of TIMEZ. Keo getting a little bit of damage there for her troubles, but Celestial Titan getting that 3rd round win.
Yeah, again, Celestial's that team that likes to be really in your face. Especially on ecos, you don't want to get thrifty there. So fighting for the CT, just sending the blinds through and fighting for it is a really good play in my book. And Shizu turning around on the Omen there is just that awareness. Looks like Celestial is gonna go for A due to that 0 point.
Yes, the other good thing about it too, and we talked about it in that pregame. Looks like this round TIMEZ wanted to go for one of those B main blitzes, and that 0 point just completely shuts it down. But also on the flip end gives Celestial Titan the information that they can just go A.
Yeah, they do have Thrash here for this retake, and their KO ult on the side of TIMEZ, and REBL. They could invest some of the ults.
There it is, first one to come through, no command, but Asgo not able to connect. The spray, Pillow Fort rushing the showstopper just a bit there, not able to take any down, but he backed him up just a little bit, but the gun itself is doing the damage. Actually leaves Keo down to 3 HP. And she's gonna have to get out of this one.
Yeah, that KO ult being popped there kind of makes the retake for TIMEZ less impactful because it shuts down all of your abilities while it's active, and it just becomes really annoying if you're trying to retake a site, especially A, where you're fighting these weird angles that you want to be able to have your util, and that KO ult is just perfectly timed to win the round for him.
Oh, this is a nice spot. This goes here.
We're gonna get a series where both teams lose their map pick.
Right there.
That it'd be interesting to see, but that means we go the distance.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Sometimes I like to see the distance go. You know, I think Celestial's kind of answering back to them losing Haven, their map pick, and they're just fixing their little mistakes that weren't on Haven.
100%.
Thrash is ready.
Oh, the Thrash does get recollected here. Dizzy confirming. Nothing left onto the site. Once again, comfortably coming towards A. As they understand, a lot of the members are towards B from the opposing side. But Shizu gets a bit ahead of it. Taken down to 5 HP from the Sheriff of Ski there. And the third Thrash invested into the round here. And RY going towards the spawn. Doesn't land onto him. But look at Ski. Just running towards this lane position, but Blue actually is not able to catch him down. Comes through just a bit late here, and then RY caught off guard. Orichirisu left for the clutch 1v5. Sheriff in hand. There are 3 low HP, but the only thing you can really do here is die to Spike, try to deny those ult orbs. There it is. That's one way to do it. The 2 pieces of damage done there, and he's actually looking for more. Actually recovers the Vandal. To get a couple more kills here. Shot's not gonna land, but there it is. Lots of damage done from him before he goes down.
Yeah, I love that TIMEZ is called a timeout here as they're watching the map kind of slip from them. Kind of recollect and figure out where things are going wrong. I know on the side of TIMEZ, they have 4 ults on the board. They do have Thrash still. They have Neural Theft online. I feel like, in my opinion, the issue is TIMEZ is kind of over-rotating. They're like gambling this stack towards B with the Cypher there. And maybe because of that KO that is kind of taking their Cypher offline. But they can always switch up the Cypher where he's playing so he's not fully being hit by it. And then they leave A completely open with one person there, and that person's overpowered. So just a lot of early rotates from TIMEZ. It's kind of costing them these rounds.
Yeah. I definitely think that rotation discipline is very important, especially on this map. I mean, this map, every team in this tournament so far has played for that push and pull. You usually have a player either towards A or B, just trying to fake the site as you work elsewhere, whether that's tiles or one of the extremities. And I think that Celestial Titan are playing that very well, and that's a style that we know them for, though. They came out the gate, you know, playing that way in this tournament, and I feel like TIMEZ need to adjust to that. They got to go back to what they know about Celestial Titan, because, I mean, they did it pretty well in Haven.
Yeah, they kind of had the read on them, which ended up winning them that round. Maybe TIMEZ is just a little confused on what they want to do, because Celestial has been kind of switching up where they're going a lot.
Ooh, Take still comes over here towards B, but it is shoot caught out in the open, and Ski a little too engaged on the angle there. Actually goes down, and it looks like they want to take Boba control as well based off that neural theft. Flash drive comes right through the dark cover. Pillow Fort with 2, and NRY left in a clutch situation. Very unlikely outcome here, but I mean, it starts with 1, but Blue gonna quickly take him down, and I mean, Celestial Titan are completely capitalizing off of the amazing map control they take early round.
Yeah, you talked about how Blue makes this KO work on this map. And the way he sets up Pillow Fort is just phenomenal. They leave the Gecko on the site to fight with the rest of the team, and KO's just right there attached to Pillow Fort, just making him a great initiator for Pillow Fort, and Pillow Fort is able to get a lot of kills off of the flashes and the mollies. And that just gives them space overall.
Oh, showstopper by Pillow Fort. It's taken down pretty quickly. Does land a shot onto NRY there, though. Kyo gonna have to slip off the site here. I think that's Ray's ult number 700 that missed today. I don't think we've seen a single landed Ray's ult today.
Hey, that Ray's ult is a little busted in my opinion. You do 136 damage and someone doesn't die. A questionable ult.
Oh, the flash wasn't good for it. Actually completely caught off guard there. Kyo not able to do the damage there, but Ski, he's given up on the affair. The shots were too labored for him to believe it. Shizu taking him down. flawless for Celestial Titan, and they're running away with this map.
Yeah, I think on the side of times, it's the over-rotating and the solo peeking.
Yes.
I know sometimes in high-pressure situations when you're down 2-7, sometimes you want to be that hero on the team. And maybe get a few picks, but at the end of the day, it's just going to cost you if you're not getting those picks or getting those frags that you need. It kind of leaves your team in sticky situations on how to retake now. But again, Celestial Titan is just... Pillar Fort's opening the site for them with the KO and the Gecko. It works for them.
Yeah, and I mean, Ski, once again, wanted to try to anchor into that site, but just not enough support.
Right there.
He only had a Sheriff as well. Once again, flashbang right through the dark cover. And Blue able to take down XD ahead of the retake here. And there was a stinger in his hand, but he's not going to be able to find the value. Kia left by her lonesome. And the spam comes through, another flawless in a row for Celestial Titan.
Yeah, I think compared to Haven, watching the side of Celestial, they played really phenomenal. And then watching their map pick slip away from them, I think they just, in their intermission and their break, they had an answer and they found it. And running away with Times' map pick would be huge here to send them into the third map.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. Headphones? That's the smokes too. It's actually not good for Times.
Yeah, that's not good on the side of Times. Your smokes player going out. Maybe again it was one of those hero plays where they're trying to go for mid and they just got caught because they were Times and they're down in tiles. But there are 3 people backside for the side of Times. Thrash and Breach invested.
Poor Blue. Just by himself. Gets Breach ulted and Gecko ulted.
Yeah,
oh, man.
Those are one of those moments where you just gotta question it, you know? You don't know sometimes.
Just gotta accept your fate.
I would be raging if that was me, but...
Retake coming through though. Blood actually caught out a little bit. Overdrive from NRY. To make things look good coming into this, but Shizu with 2 of his own actually. Tries to do the dance there backside, but it doesn't work out. And Pillow Fort stalled out by the Neuro Theft from Shizu there, but NRY able to take down the third on the round, and there's the wingman to get the defuse. And I mean, this is where you can start to draw your narrative of silver lining if you're Times, right? Grab that 4th round, try to get pistol on second half. This is where they can make a comeback.
Get those guns.
Times, in essence, had to win that round, in my opinion, because you invested the Breach and Gecko ult, and the Neon ult. There's a lot of ults that came out from the side of Times, and it secured them around, but they have KO ult now for their take on the side of Celestial. So things get a little sticky here.
Which makes me nervous, I mean, because Celestial Titan have done an exceptional job of ult juggling this game.
Yeah. They have KO, they have Neural Theft. If they can get a kill, that'll give them a lot of for wherever Omen wants to go, but I don't see a world where he needs to pop it. The kill by KO there on KO. On KO. That takes out their KO ult, which is huge for Times, but not really good for Celestial. But it looks like Celestial's opting to fight through mid, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the footsteps and the dark cover confirming it as well. Ski could easily actually slip into this as well. Paint Shells takes him out, but look at where Shizu's at.
Spike down A.
He's actually in a position to potentially shut down these rotations. Takes down the first one, but gonna have to back out. There's that neural theft coming through. But still, TIMEZ with the advantage in this round right now. Gonna have to sniff out where Shizu's at. But Keo completely deleting him out of the server. And I mean, the spike isn't even in their hands. Pillow Fort's gonna have to do the damage to
10
recover it.
seconds left.
And that's it. Asgo. No time left. That is it. All they've got to do is run away. And that is the last round win on this half for TIMEZ.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know why pushing up A main
Switching
for
sides.
all that space and Celestial fighting through mid. I don't know, I was just set up really good there. He could just fight from behind them. They had no idea that he was there, and then he's doubled up with their Omen that TP'd over. It was just well played by TIMEZ. But an 8-4 half is not bad for TIMEZ.
Yeah. It's not too bad, especially if they can get a pistol round here. I guess my biggest question is, if they don't get this pistol round win, if they have enough eco to actually do a counterforce, kind of like we saw in the RPG DSS game earlier, would you actually opt into that if you were TIMEZ?
Yeah. I think when you're down in numbers on rounds, sometimes you're gonna do whatever it takes. And I think buying into that round, if you lose pistol and you have enough money to force, why not? You know? And being TIMEZ, you've already won the kind of like, you have the option to go to third map here, and you could win it on third map. So, is it really a loss, in my opinion?
True. Interesting. They're opting actually for their Omen to be the lurker here on this pistol round.
Yeah, they do have Ski inserted in tiles.
I mean, this pistol, the tempo of it's so awkward from TIMEZ, but I mean, they're doing a decent job of playing it
30
safely,
seconds
but
left.
question is, does safety win the round? Pillow Fort able to get that first kill there, and I mean, just everybody from TIMEZ are so spread around the map. It's hard to see the vision of what they're really going for here, but Ski, he hears the
I feel like-
rotations, and Shizu, he's so patient.
Ooh.
Last player standing.
Oh, Keo. If Keo was able to get that kill, actually, it might have been more possible. Spike gets diffused. Celestial Titan running away with the pistol. And I mean, this is that round tier. Do they go for that counterforce? Because, I mean, they have the money to do it. They could grab Stinger's light armor.
Yeah, they did get plant down, which was really big for them if they did force this round. But I don't think we're really gonna see the force. Maybe a sheriff bot. That's about it. It doesn't look like they're going to opt into force here.
Cover going out.
TIMEZ does have a lot of control of mid here.
Yeah, I mean, they're completely taking control of this space. How about Shizu and Market? So hard to deal with him. Just gets right around the Dizzy here. Able to back up into the palms of his teammates in Boba. I mean, it's awkward for TIMEZ, but they have a contingency plan towards A. Ski has the info that no A shenanigans are happening, but the moment that they start going towards his take, I mean, Asgo is going to be the one that hears it. All he's got to do is back up here, play for time, stall just a little bit, and the rest of his team can rotate. Bulldog in hand goes for the swing, takes down the first, takes down the second.
Spike
And that is all she
down A.
wrote on the A site.
30 seconds left.
XD recovering the spike. Does recover the Bulldog though. Try to come back into this one. Plant to come through. He comes off it, so that's the plant for them.
But look at
He's gonna have to go huge.
Omen.
Yeah, he might actually be able to get good impact here. He's only got a Sheriff though to do it.
Gun here.
TIMEZ wondering where it all went wrong. They looked so good on Haven. Coming here on Sunset, and this is their map. This is their map pick too. Timeout underway.
On the side of whose timeout is this?
TIMEZ.
Oh, makes sense.
And if you're TIMEZ here, actually, I was actually wondering what would you say to them here? Because I mean, there's so many different things that we're not seeing.
I feel like they need to get their Neon inserted somewhere. Like their Neon needs to be able to take that space. I feel like you have the information of Celestials playing the Omen and Elbow, and the Raze is playing with them, and Cypher's on B by themselves. They have enough util to overpower that Cypher on B, and that's a free site with the Neon sliding into their face and getting up close, but doesn't seem like they want to do that this game, and I don't know, it's very different from what we saw last game, where they were in their face, and this game they're just kind of playing it a little slower, and I feel like with their comp, you can't play slow. You gotta be fast, you gotta be aggressive with it, and be in their face, and maybe it's just a 0 point shutting them down. I don't know. Leaves you wondering.
Yeah. Dizzy does get the immediate information. I mean, look at them once again, being really aggressive, coming towards this elbow space. I mean, but Celestial Titan do this every time. They come off of that A site, they wait for the retake scenario to come through. No utility has to be used. I mean, I think this is a position where TIMEZ need to find themselves fighting into CT.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh. They're gonna do it. They look for it. Able to get one down, but I mean, the utility actually doesn't assist them in this case right now. Wasn't able to come out. XD does take one down, but Ski caught off on a timing. Next D left in the clutch here. But I mean, the running gun from Blood and the Stinger. And another round for Celestial Titan. 11-4 right now, continuing to make the gap wider in this lead.
Yeah, I mean, again, we come back to the point where Celestial lost their map pick, and they had a response. They weren't going to lose like that, and they're just going to run away with TIMEZ' map pick and send it into map 3. I also think TIMEZ their comp is so aggressive heavy, and I feel like we're not seeing them be aggressive. They're like taking all this space, but they're not doing it in their correct way. Like they're kind of stalling it. Like they'll get halfway into elbow and they'll stop their push. And with what they have, the Neon and Breach, they have to be aggressive.
I mean, these smokes definitely painting a bit of a funny picture for Celestial Titan. They're going to be aware that this hit is coming through for mid. Asgo. Gonna dance around the site. Shrouded step to get out. I mean, the map is completely flipped now. TIMEZ on the defensive side and Celestial Titan on the attack side.
I'm out of here.
Now, if Asgo can get a cheeky peek here, he could actually create a lot of impact. XD going for the jump spot. Not assuming that anybody's in this position just based off that alone. But still clears it out. I mean, just completely takes Asgo out of the equation. Pillow Fort playing around the flank. Not going to opt into the showstopper quite yet, but I mean, this is where all of Celestial Titan are. And TIMEZ are making a pretty good response here.
Can't use it.
Dizzy comes over top of the rooftop, and all three players still at bay here in A main. And this is going to have to come through pretty quickly. Showstopper in hand, but the Rolling Thunder on the flip end is what they're going to be up against. But Keo and XD completely taking them down, and a Thrifty comes through for TIMEZ.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want to see from Times with their comp. They take that mid space and they fought through it. And then they flip the map on Celestial so well, and it wins them the round. Again, with their comp, it's so aggressive. They just need to go for those hits and be confident in them. When you're not confident in your comp, it shows in your games. That's what's showing for Times right now, is that they just don't seem confident with this. They do have their breach ult available and Thrash.
Yeah, and the Thrash comes out pretty quickly as well. They've taken control of mid pretty quickly here. But Shizu's on the site. Showstopper to come through from Pillowfort. Let's take down NRY, but that makes things so awkward from Times again. And that's the spike down too. Full control there. And Celestial Titan are basically in a triangle formation to protect it.
Foolish.
Kill over towards B.
Right there.
It's a bit of time to take that down, so they lose a member in the process. Now, XD's got a Rolling Thunder here. He could opt to actually use that towards mid after Ski gets a bit of information here. Because, I mean, at this point, every round matters for Times.
Yeah, if I'm Times, I assume that everyone's sitting on Spike, and I would opt to use the Rolling Thunder here, but...
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, but we got a little overzealous on the engagement, actually. Asgo not hit by the Rolling Thunder there. XD very aware of that now. And he moves close so he can hit the shot with the near sight, but Asgo a little quicker to the trigger. And that's a 12th round on the board for Celestial Titan, and we're at map point.
Yeah, and Times no longer has that breach ult or their Thrash. And those are really valuable ults in rounds like this that matter. They still have their Neon ult. If NRY can make some impact with that, you could win a round, but they do have KO ult to shut down the Neon ult completely.
This could be dangerous too. Once again, very early, Dizzy coming over the rooftop. Many Times want to make a go of this elbow space again, but as always, Celestial Titan completely conceding the space. Coming back, waiting for the retake to go. Moving forward
Yeah,
here.
Celestial's probably gonna fall back and play retake with KO ult, and that leaves Times with no abilities and no util, which makes holding your sight harder.
Oh, but this time, they're fighting into CT. This time with a bit more util to work with, though. Stun comes through. And actually able to take down Asgo. This time the fight actually goes their way when they push into the spawn there. Shizu left in the 1v4, can't do any damage. Times make good of that round.
Yeah, those are rounds right there from Times that make their comp look so good. Because it's, again, it's aggressive. And that's what you need to do is fight for CT, fight for Link, fight something so you have more space against Celestial, knowing that they have the Thrash and the KO online now. Because if you can take those two players out, that stops their retake. And it leaves them questioning, do we fight for it, or do we save, or what? Like, what's the idea?
Exactly. And this time, HD's actually using the From the Shadows to try to get the information towards site and elbow. Does clear things out, but Pillowfort the only one here now. They usually aftershock this position here, and it looks like he's setting up to do it again. So Pillowfort is going to have quite a hard time with this one. Ooh, turns around at the wrong moment. This time NRY just completely walks up on it. Times getting a bit of a read of the tendencies of Celestial Titan coming into this right now. Ski saving Aditsu's life, and this time, once again, they want to get ahead of the take. They want to fight forward.
Yeah, Celestial's kind of on a broken buy here, so they probably just don't opt to use any of their ults and die to Spike or get some damage.
Yep.
It's a great hold by Times.
There it is. Timeout from Celestial Titan. I had a feeling that was going to come pretty soon.
Yeah, Times is won 2 rounds in a row, and you're at match point. That's not what you want to see. You want to see just the game end, and you go to map 3, and all the good things. But Times is using their comp to their ability with the Breach and the Gecko and the Omen and that Neon that's so evasive on site. That's what I was looking for from Times, was to get more aggressive, and maybe in their timeout that they called, that was what was called, was just be more aggressive. Because they were playing really scared in a way, where they were taking so much space, and then they just were like, oh, they like halted, and that was costing them rounds.
Yeah. And this timeout right here as well from Parks is 100% to figure out what they want to do with that Thrash and that null command here.
Yeah, because I think on the side of Celestial, you don't want another overtime. If Times can bring this back and this goes into another overtime, you don't want that on the side of Celestial. You want a map 3. And we've seen from Times that they really lock in for that overtime and can win it. Celestial still does have Thrash and KO.
Ooh, but Celestial Titan have a different game plan here. They don't want to play for that retake anymore. Actually trying to fight forward, but instead of using the utility, I mean, he had the paranoia out, and he just goes for a dry peek instead. Completely punished from lack of discipline merely there. And everyone gets taken down in the process. I mean, I love the change of the format from Celestial Titan there. I'm sure they could have caught them off guard, but they all peek ahead of the utility, and Times completely cleaned them up, securing their 8th round win of the map.
Yeah, bad dry peek from Omen there was questionable in my opinion. You have the blind out for not to use it. I think he blinds there. I think that goes a different way. They're gonna stack more people onto the A site on the side of Celestial because Times is taking the site so aggressively.
Trades. Nearly fight goes the way of Times. They also have that Thrash online too. I mean, honestly, they've done a really good job of stalling Celestial Titan from actually using those ultimates that they have. And the fact that they're building their own ultimates in the process as well actually makes this a very even game here. Ski towards mid, looking for a second. Unable to take him down. But they can comfortably plant over towards B. Neural Theft to come through. We'll confirm the positioning here soon enough though, but Shrouded step over towards main, and they're going to play off here. Now, both teams have access to a Thrash, and presumably we might get one of those here.
Yeah, they could use it on the side of Times to secure the round because they don't have higher grade weapons. It's just the Phantom online for them.
Team Ace.
Oh wow.
Wow. I mean, well played.
Oh wow. Yeah, that aftershock is annoying. Especially when you're stunned, and that aftershock is just a good ability. I like how Celestial has switched the Cypher to the A site, knowing that they take the site eventually with the Neon and Breach. What he does,
especially this late in the game.
Yeah, he does aftershock in that area, and I don't know if the end of one of those trips.
Oh yeah! Monster on the loose!
Thrash, now from Keo. Yeah, she just jumped around the entire Cypher setup. But now they know those are here, though. I think it's going to be really hard for Shiza to find value out of it. The relay bolts go towards CT, the counter thrash to come through onto the site. And this time, it's a bit more of an even fight. Bloodshed coming through, but the shots are just landing from TIMEZ right now. And right now, only Pillow Fort left standing. The K ultimate does go down. Pillow Fort looking for the shots, not able to land them. 1v5. What's scary here too, I mean, TIMEZ' eco is literally maxed out. Like, it can't get better. And Celestial Titan, like, keep having to scrape for pennies in these rounds off these losses. I mean, is this the round we start getting scared?
On the side of Celestial, yeah, you're at match point and everything you're doing is not working. You invest the Kale and the Thrashel and you lose that round. And you now start to wonder if it's game over or if there's another strategy you can pull out.
Let's make some chaos.
I mean, if they win this, they force it into last round of regulation. So this is a pretty big round here, actually. And although Celestial Titan don't necessarily have the arsenal, that puts them at a clear advantage. I mean,
yeah,
definitely on the defense.
I think TIMEZ' comp is really good for site taking, and once they learn that they can kind of just take site for free with the Breach and Neon, it just becomes a round win for them. And it looks like they're fighting towards A main.
Spike down A.
I mean, it's a quick trade to come through. And RY actually gets away with grabbing the spike there. And look at where Arichirisu is right now. He's completely found
Spike
himself
down mid.
out on B site, but ooh, Ski didn't take his time with the spray there.
They still have no idea about the Omen.
Yep.
Stealing sight. Shadows travel.
30 seconds
Two away
left.
from the shadows, but not going to be able to invest it here. It's a 2v2 situation here. It comes down to Orochirisu and XD for TIMEZ to keep them on this map.
Yeah, it's winnable for
Spike
each
planted.
side. They still have Aftershock, and they do have that Rolling Thunder they could invest if they want.
Yeah, did he just get that off that plant?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking really good for TIMEZ. If they can get this, force it to last round of regulation, I mean, we're looking for a comeback to commence here. And look how passive they're playing as well. Orochirisu just holding for the flank, but they might fight into this one. Paranoia comes through, but he goes for the Rolling Thunder instead! And they get the picks, and Celestial Titan clinch the map and put us into the third map. Wow.
Wow.
That is, Thalya, that is such an awkward way to go down there. And they had it so figured out. He was just watching flank and the Rolling Thunder was just ready for the spike tap, but they didn't account for the fact that they can just contact up B main. Just take a fight. Man.
Yeah, that... I literally looked away for 2 seconds and I saw them win.
Yeah. I mean, that was an absolutely insane way to finish that map there. And of course, Pillow Fort, as always, incredible performance. Top of the leaderboard MVP here, 311 ACS. And looking at everyone else, I mean, everyone performed really well in this map. It was definitely a very close one, but man, we're going the distance, and I think it's what, Ascent?
Yes, Ascension is the third lap.
Yeah, we're going things over to Ascent, you know, which makes me nervous because, I mean, this is one of those maps where you get that Jet v Jet. We're going back to the standards here. Probably going to have Pillow Fort on that Jet. Probably going to have NRY on that Jet. And I mean, both these teams, the task is tall. This is for elimination. And this is also for a ticket to that lower final, which is one step closer to the grand final. And this is where the series starts to take shape. Both of these teams, Thalya, lost their map pick. Wow.
Yeah, it's anyone's game here now, and I think going back to Ascent, I always like to say, Ascent being the designer map is always back to... This is just standard VALORANT. Who can do it better?
Yep.
What are you going to pull out? What are you going to do different? Separates you from the other team to win you the game, to win you the series. So I'm excited to see basic VALORANT and see who comes out on top.
100%. Well, you heard it here, folks. It is back to fundamentals. We're throwing things to Ascent on map 3 after this short intermission. All right, folks, welcome back to the Celestial Titan versus TIMEZ matchup, and we're coming back with the decider map. We've gone the distance here, Thalya, and it's going to be on Ascent. Celestial Titan starting on defense. How you feeling about this one?
I'm excited for this map. This is anyone's game. They have both fought long and hard to get here.
Oh yeah. I mean, this series has been such a roller coaster of emotions. I mean, Haven TIMEZ taking that away from Celestial Titan in overtime, 15-13, and then Sunset going the way of Celestial Titan, 13-10. And Pillow Fort, as always, I mean, this guy, what can he not do? Every single time, tops that leaderboard, 311 ACS, 6 first blood. Safe to say he's found really good value out of this. And as we go to Ascent, Thalya, I expect that he's probably going to play Jet and do the same thing.
Yeah, he wasn't opping on him, and no, he was playing Neon, but I do want to see some Pillow Fort operator. I would love to see an op put in play here by him. I'd love to see maybe some cool Vandal plays, the knife, like, I don't know. I want to see what he can't do, really.
Yeah.
What
Find
can
out
he
what
do?
nerfs him.
What nerfs
so
him? I want to
true.
know.
I feel like if I'm going against a team that has Pillow Fort in it, I got to find a way to get around this guy. Get to his head or avoid his side or just take him down early. I mean, I feel like that's exactly what's missing right now from TIMEZ. And, you know, there's a couple other things to say there as well. But one of the things I also want to talk about here, Thalya, is the Cypher versus the Cypher. And when we bring things over here onto Ascent, we're going to get, you know, these Sentinels, you know, again, and these are the players that play the Sentinels on those. Ski actually plays Cypher on Ascent as well, and Shizu on the Killjoy. So, I mean, Ski could not get any value that game, and I'm not sure if it's because of the differences between Sunset and Haven, and maybe he's not as comfortable lurking on Sunset, but I definitely think coming into this next map, if he can find that value that he got out of Haven, TIMEZ could take this away.
Yeah, I think Ascent is very Sentinel friendly. I think, yes, it is 2 maps, but I feel like you can switch up your lurks differently every single round because of that mid, because of Cat, because of tiles. Like, you can insert yourself somewhere so ratty and you can make it so impactful. And I'm excited to see what both of these Sentis have in store and what they're going to do. I know Shizu's playing the Killjoy here, and Killjoy's common on this map, and the Cypher's different. Like, I know now it's meta, but Killjoy was the OG of this, so I'm kind of excited to see what they do.
Yeah. No, me too. I definitely think this is a really... I mean, last time we actually saw Ski play Cypher on Ascent, he went absolutely bazonkers. I mean, he completely... He did so good on it. So I definitely think that this is his time to come back into it, you know, find that value again, because, again, it was just missing on Sunset. And when you have those missing links, because we're so deep in the tournament at this point, Thalya, that every single team you go up against has layers on every single front. Whether it's the duelist that's the first one in, whether it's those initiators, we have incredible star initiators in this matchup here, or if it's those controllers that have good impact, or those sentinels. Everybody on every team at this point in the tournament has impact, and if there's one, you know, weak link on the team, and for me on this map it was Ski, then you could just go down easily. So I definitely think he's going to need to find his footing here.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Ski does with this this Cypher. I know that that's now the meta, is the Cypher on this map, and I'm still used to the KJ. I know my team runs KJ. Sometimes the Cypher, I know we are more prone to the double Senti comp, but I prefer a KJ on this map. But if Ski can make it work, maybe I could be a believer.
Yeah. Kyo right on to the KO there, and Shizu immediately locking in that Killjoy. Now, looks like we might actually get Ski on Killjoy instead of that Cypher, so might be getting that OG like you were talking about.
Yeah, just a basic Ascent comp. I know everyone nowadays, because it's such a basic map in Valorant, this is the OG map. Everyone has a different way of approaching this map, but I'm excited to see this OG comp come out on the map that made Valorant what it is. Maybe we get a mirror comp here? Maybe we don't? I'm hoping for a mirror though.
Yeah, I think we are. The other thing that's nice about this as well, this is a really good way to end a series, I feel like. I mean, this is just like the true test of fundamentals for teams, because Ascent is like the most figured out map out of the entire pool, right? So I feel like we see the innovation from Haven and then on to Sunset, and we see how the teams play both of those, even though we got like one meta comp in there, maybe two. But I mean, Ascent is where things are just even. This is going to be really good. I mean, this is literally NRY versus Pillow Fort. This is literally, again, Shizu versus Ski. This is XD versus Blood. This is huge.
Yeah, like I said, Ascent is just basic Valorant. It's back to the basics. It's back to those basic strat books, back to the OG plays that you know and love on this. So I'm excited to see that because, of course, we've seen Haven, which is run completely different by every team. You have the Fnatic comps, the NRG comps, the Sentinels comps, and then you watch Sunset, and that's just a mess in itself all the time because there's 30 different comps you can play on that map. It's always nice to come back to the basic comp for me.
Do you ever miss the, there was a very brief moment in time. There was one team, I remember G2 did it. Do you ever miss the Viper on Sunset? What were your thoughts on that era?
I know this might get some hate, but I love the Viper on Sunset. When I'm a Viper player, I play everything. Viper's my child. I love Viper. So when they pulled that out, I was in love with it. And if you can make it work, it works. Like, you can't hate it. There's so many things you can Sunset that Viper was just so valuable for them.
Now, you know I gotta ask, since we're on Ascent, what did you think about the Viper Ascent meta?
No. I think Sunset or Ascent will always be the Omen and the Jet, the KO, and the Sova and the KJ. I'm not a huge fan of this whole like Astra Cypher thing. I like Valorant for what it is. Why they threw the Viper on this map is confusing to me. I don't know. I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. If you made it work, you made it work.
Yeah. It was definitely an interesting one. I've seen some crazy comps here. I've seen the Viper Harbor as well on Ascent. This was quite interesting. I think Paper Rex were the ones that were doing that first.
Yeah, Paper Rex, but Paper Rex is weird. They run a lot. Like, they put something on Gecko on. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't know. If there's gonna be a crazy comp, Paper X, it's Paper X or Fnatic that are gonna be the one to do it. All the EMEA teams pull out that crazy nonsense. I mean, the first crazy Sentinels double Senti on this map, which is the one that we run on ULA for this map, and it's kind of weird and kind of cringe, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just no one likes to fight a double Senti. It's not fun.
It's really hard to fight against for sure, the Deadlock Cypher. I've seen some other configurations as well. I've seen some people try like the Deadlock Killjoy. I've seen some Cypher Vice. I've seen some pretty interesting pairings on this one. People are really exploring that double Sentinel meta on Ascent, and I actually like it a lot.
Yeah, I actually really played against the Vice the other day in a game or something, and it was a KJ Vice. It was like in a Swift play or something. And I didn't realize how dominating that KJ, when you mix them together, that comp is not fun.
The Razor Vines under the Nano Swarms,
Yeah, it's so unfun, because it's like you're either going to die to that, or you're going to take damage from the Thorns.
Yep.
It's not fun.
0 point immediately coming through. Does spot the information over towards A. Looks like on this pistol round they want to take some pretty deep control of this A space, but gonna back up off the orb just a little bit. Not biting too much. And now Shizu playing really passive towards this B site. Just doesn't really anticipate anything crazy here. Crosshair placement a bit curious, but nonetheless, this regroup over towards Cat, I mean, this right here is indicative of what I remember from Gentle Minions in their grand final against Zeta from Cup 1. Go for that early A main aggression, and then you just regroup over here towards Cat and take another gunfight. It looks like they're ready for it as well. Bit of a bait and switch here. Frenzy in hand, but Asgo not taking his time with the shots. Gets taken off the angle. And he's still at the advantage there as well. Shizu over here towards Pizza, going to be the second layer of the defense here. Going to have to fend a lot off. Does get the first shot. So clean off the back of it, but the flash comes right through the smoke, and they have even more answers for them. And so far, Celestial Titan looking really well dynamic here.
But look at Ski. He's lurked all the way up B.
Last
Oh, boy.
player standing.
Yeah, Shizu going down actually opened this one up too.
One enemy remaining.
Shots come through. It got a little bit close there, but Blood finishing things off with the Sheriff, and that was a pretty close pistol round.
Remember, your weapon is
Yeah, I
only a
think,
tool. You can't
like I
just
said,
shoot.
you get Ski inserted somewhere and have him lurk. Because the turret was broke so early on, they didn't anticipate him to still be there.
Bot coming
And
back.
he got a couple kills, but ultimately didn't win the round for them. But it was still impactful if it did.
Yeah.
I will find you, Roman. Cover going out.
Oh.
Oh. Alrighty.
Okay.
That's unfortunate.
There goes the lurk.
Jump spotting for that information towards A main. I mean, they're aware they love these cat repositions. Blue gonna be the one to spot it out. Dart over towards market to try to sell that they want to start exploring this mid space, but there's still 4 members of Times here towards A main, trying to spot it out. As go. Still jump spotting.
Cover going out.
Actually able to find one. Actually also gets pinged out. Still playing onto the site. Shock dart lands onto him. Paranoia to follow up as well. And it's too much pressure for him to deal with, but comes right through the smoke there. And Blue actually able to take one down. 2 left standing. NRY on 1 HP. Suppressive fire from Heaven. And so far, once again, the only thing they can really get here is damage, but fragment. It's good for 1. Claims a life, but the damage is done really well. Celestial Titan getting their second round.
I'll kill that Omen.
Yeah, that early pick from Blood on Ski is amazing because it takes out their Senti if someone wants to lurk. They have that space to do so, and then really Times is just kind of left in shambles because there's an Ares spraying you down from heaven into hell, and what more can you do?
Placing alarm bot.
Oh, wow. Again. This is the second round in a row. First blood happened immediately as the round starts. But this time, one of the defenders goes down. Blood pushed up a bit far here. Now, just off the back of seeing that it's the Killjoy who's actually back towards spawn, gets the information that the hit's probably not coming this way. NRY back onto the site, but Arichirisu gets a little bit overzealous towards hell there. Shizu takes him down, but NRY with the quick trade is able to follow up. Now Ski is going to be this late backstab plan 4 times if he's able to play it correctly.
Yeah, that late KJ Electric Cat is always costly for them, and 0 Point doesn't spot him.
Ready to commence into the retake here. Darts and flashes come right on through, and once again, Blood with the Ares is able to land one down, but there's that late backstab from Cat XD following up, and Blood on the site, a bit too much to handle with the Ares as he gets cornered, and Times get their first round.
Yeah, that backstab through Cubby just late. He 0 pointed it, but he stopped in time so he doesn't get spotted, and it's just a great lurk overall from Ski. He knows that the Silva likes to spam through B, so he's repositioning in that area.
And the operator already from Pillowfort as well, just as requested, but actually misses the first shot there. Gonna reposition. I mean, it's nice too, because Celestial Titan are going to start playing with these long-range angles. I mean, usually this is a really hard thing to deal with as well. She's going to back up just a bit here.
The KJ did tag the other KJ? No, it was the KO he tagged. Ended up legging him with that off shot.
Shadows travel
Found a kill, but he has no health.
blinding.
And the take coming over here towards A. That blue. Looks like he was going to try to make a play there through the dark cover, but the fragment forces him away. Plant does come through, but this time you see it's on this wide angle over towards Dice. It actually looks like TIMEZ wouldn't be able to play off here. Might even have some lineups in store that they might utilize for this, but Ski is once again on that late backstab. This time he's not very forward on it. He's playing it a little bit more patient, but he's coming through. Gonna peek in just a second here. Gets the timing. And blue turns around at the wrong time, but they're both playing it so well. Asgo able to take him down. Jump spot confirms nobody's onto the spike here. But the smoke makes it a bit harder. They're going to have to peek and go for these kills here. Pings onto the spike. And the defuse still comes right on through. Celestial Titan with 3 on the round.
Yeah, I feel like their retake could have been a little better on the side of Celestial, but you're retaking with an AWP, and sometimes that could become a little tricky. Losing some guns there, having to buy into this round. I think Ski's gonna have to switch up his lurk, because they're starting to become aware of his cubby lurk. They do have KO here though, on the side of TIMEZ.
Just an immediate catwalk up here. Gonna grab the information. Does find out the KO. Playing towards this tree space, but they do not want to give this space up at all. Even getting Pillow Fort involved in the endeavor here to post up with the operator, but that turns TIMEZ completely around. This time Ski going a bit more aggressive on the lurk here. Takes down the turret. You see as this round continues to take shape, looks like the game plan of TIMEZ is to try to thin out the numbers anywhere that they can with the guns that they have. And it looks like A is where that happened.
Yeah, but there's a lot of members from the side of Celestial on A.
Yeah, and I mean that jump as well. Thalya completely punishes him. Ski is gonna have to speed this up.
Yeah, I think you have a broken bind here, and
it's gonna rain away off the back of that Pillow Fort. Let's take down XD. Only in areas for Keo goes down as well. This time it's a double stab towards tree. And NRY not able to find the impact. He actually came from CT before. He regroups over towards Cat. Pillow Fort takes him down, and a flawless 4th round win for Celestial Titan. And honestly, it just feels like TIMEZ are kind of running out of juice. I know that's a round they were supposed to lose, but I mean, I don't see the same conviction I saw from them before.
yeah, I think Haven, they came out swinging. And I think they really had something to prove, and they wanted it. And I think going into Sunset, maybe it's the mental shift of losing their map pick in the way that they did, because at the half it was 8-4. Even though they came back 10-13, you still lose your map pick, and sometimes it can be detrimental for teams to lose like that. Shizu's really inserted here.
Spike down B.
Yeah, I mean, these are really good kills from him, and then even the suppressive fire from Blood to follow up. Actually makes the round so difficult to deal with. I mean, fundamentally, Celestial Titan just have every single piece of the puzzle falling into place here.
I'll shut them down. Until then, survive.
Yeah, I'd like to see a timeout here from TIMEZ and kind of pull this game back. You have KJ ult on the board. You have KO ult.
Ooh. Perfect timing.
There's the timeout.
I
Yeah, I
definitely
think
think
on
there's a tempo change needed here for sure.
yeah, I think on the side of times you want to hear your coach talk, and you want to have. Normally, your coach is gonna say something that you're not seeing, something impactful, but also that vibe merchant is what we call it, like someone that's gonna change the mood in that call, because you don't know
Yeah.
what's going on in that call, whose mental is shot from losing Sunset, and sometimes you want to have your coach in there to be like, okay, listen, I know we lost, but this is a new game. Let's see this instead. And they have a lot of valuable ults here. They could make something happen, and they could bring this back.
Definitely in the position to do it. I mean, but they have to stop the bleeding earlier this time. I feel like they kind of let it slip away from them last map. So I definitely think this timeout is like perfectly timed here.
Yeah. I think they have kind of a confused buy. They have Vandals up on the board, but they do have a Sheriff and a Judge. They could make something work.
Shadows traveling.
Retreat off the site. Just Fury and No Command to work with here, but door going to be closed. Moving right into the take here, and I mean, it's just an immediate exit. It's in the first few seconds of the round by Times, and this time they want to fight up into heaven here. And what's nice about this as well is he's got a judge. He can actually just refresh the smoke in just a second. You saw that supportive flash come out from him as well, but look at how aware and passive Celestial Titan are as well. And actually invest that Hunter's Fury in to allow them to play into the site, but everyone falls within matters of a second. XD left for the clutch here. And I have to go for the spam onto the diffuser. Moves right into the smoke. And the shot's not able to connect. And that's it. The diffuse right in front of him. And I mean, they lost a very important ult that round as well.
Yeah, it's kind of all she wrote for that round. They pulled out the Silva ult to destroy that KJ ult. Unfortunately, they didn't. I mean, they had to, but they were already down teammates. I don't know if I pull it out there.
Yeah.
I think at that point you kind of let the round slip from you and let them fight you through main instead of investing such an important ult.
Cover going out.
Lockdown available. And No Command still 4 times to go into the take here. Mid control is underway. There's a very similar positioning as well. I mean, they have this KJ. They want to support the KJ lurk with all 5 members there at the beginning of the round, and then you see them just start to disperse slowly into these mid positions and even go towards Cat and try to take some angles here. And also Shizu is very far inserted once again into that space, but I mean, they've taken deep control of this tree space at this point, and Celestial Titan got to start asking questions here. Maybe repositioning themselves for this one. I mean, they've worked themselves out onto the site. The only anomaly here is Asgo's positioning. You have to worry about that. Once you go through Cat, you're worried about that main position. If they don't find it, and that's it, it actually takes him down. And even Blood to get 2 with the Hunter's Fury off the back of that as well. And the only one left, XD, Shizu, able to take him down. And another defuse for Celestial Titan.
Yeah, I think on the side of times, you're kind of questioning yourself on what went wrong and what can you do to fix it, because the timeout was already called and your coach kind of told you what you needed to do, and if it doesn't work, then it's kind of like you got to question what can you do in the game now to fix it, and they have to figure it out fast or this game's going to slip away from them. They still do have their KJ ult and their KO ult. They could use one of them.
Yeah, I mean, if there's any round, I feel like now is to do it. Let's get this round one underway. I mean, they have a weird buy. I forgot the word you used last game. It was like a funny buy or something like that. Confusing buy.
Confusing buy.
Yeah.
Confusing buy.
definitely going to have to work with what they've got here. But I mean, there it is. That lockdown did come through. Full site control is taken. But I mean, you know, Celestial Titan love to play retakes. So I mean, was this really worth it? Did this really work out in the end? And as the retake commences, we do find out. How does TIMEZ change the game plan here? NRY is the Thorn still left onto the site. Takes down Blue, then Shizu looking for Blood. Make it 3. How about you? And there it is. Blood going down. And Asgo gets one for his troubles, but Chirisu follows up, and there's a response from TIMEZ.
Yeah, you invest that KJ ult, and as much as they do retake, that KJ ult is still valuable. Back. Ski was coming down cat after popping that KJ ult, and they just set that up beautifully, honestly.
Here. Here.
I mean, that's a box unit check off. If you can absorb a Celestial Titan retake in the form that they're in right now in this series, I mean, you've done it right. You've done a really good thing.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, on the side of TIMEZ, you're looking for a 7-5 here. In reality. They are pushing up cat, and there are 2 sitting in the smoke. There's 3.
It's a bit precarious, but Pillow Fort actually was able to take one down. And when the fight goes even both ways, a little bit of utility expended by both. Keo going to have to back up here, though. Now, what's nice about this KJ presence they always have over here towards B main, although very predictable and is a persistent pattern at this point, it serves a contingency plan late game. They have the information that nobody is fighting for this B space. Null command comes through. Blood looking to post up onto the angle, but Shizu actually the one to fend off the site. Here he is, suppressed, looking for the fights there, not able to get one. And that's the job that he needed to be able to get done, but gets fired in the process. And now only 2 left, Pillow Fort and Blood for Celestial Titan to try to stop TIMEZ from getting this first half comeback. Keo looking over towards lane, Bladestorm invested. And you can tell they want to go for this one. So use an ultimate for it, takes down the alarm bot with the Vandal, but I mean, it's so difficult. There's so much utility, just keeps coming out time and time. It's completely keeping them at bay. Blood finally getting spammed down. Rifle in the hand of Pillow Fort, goes for the shot off the fake tap, but does not get it. TIMEZ with their 3rd round.
Yeah, those are the rounds we're looking for from TIMEZ. It's, again, basic Valorant. You go back to just what Valorant is, and it looks like TIMEZ is seeming to find that the basic strat is working. You don't need to, like, do all the fancy things to win the round. You just need to...
Yeah.
So you have 4 ult on the board, okay, let's use one now, let's use one next round, and you win those rounds pretty easily because I like to say ult dominating. 2 rounds, you're fine.
XD supplementing this lurk here with Ski this time. Aljo to clear out. They know Shizu loves getting aggressive in this position. So you already see the adjustment on how they're approaching that lurk there. It's a regroup over towards mid, but Blue, this time he's by himself. He actually was in this dark cover with the Jet before, flashed through to go for fights, but it's going to be by his lonesome, so presumably not going to go for any plays here. Funny business, but he does get the peek. Takes down NRY while he's diffusing towards Fridge, but gets completely caught out into the wide angle during the reload. And now, this opens up a bit of a pathway over towards A for TIMEZ. Flash, right into tree. And Asgo could have done some damage there, but site is taken, and Keo gets the plant.
30 seconds left.
Or not.
Placing sentry.
There we go.
Planted.
Yeah, I mean, he's just so aware, yeah. So good from Celestial Titan. Very aware of that late cat lurk, but this time Chirisu looking to make the calm play. Very late lurk here. Let's take down Pillow Fort, tries to recover another weapon, but unable to do so as he gets taken down by the Odin of Blood in the process.
Last round before the switch.
Yeah, I think on the side of Times, if I'm Times and you're gonna have that cat every single round, close the door behind the KJ. Like, don't make it so known that they're gonna be there again. That door automatically lets the other team know that from behind them. And that's just, if you have that awareness to know, that just kind of gives it away. Times needs to close that door so the KJ realize it. And Blood's left with 9 HP here after that spam.
Yeah. I mean, if he can actually shoot this drone, he doesn't. Looks like the game plan there was actually for Pillow Fort to shoot the drone, but instead, he actually gets a collat kill with the operator. Almost getting no value out of Shizu's positioning there, but he still is able to manage things. Spike goes back into the hands of Ski here as they bring things over towards the A site, but it's going to take a while for it to actually get here. I do have a chance, maybe drop it towards Chirisu and go for it from the shadows towards B, but I mean, this is a very awkward mid-round for Times.
Yeah, I think NRY and the Omen kind of just linked up on the A because all of Celestial is playing on Heaven. This is winnable from the side of Times because their Silva is at 9 HP.
That dart once again not being shot out. Just all of the light machine guns from Celestial Titan raining fire towards Hell there. And that's it. The defuse comes through. A 9-3 half for Celestial Titan. And I mean, if Times want a chance to get back into this and don't get eliminated, I mean, they're going to have to activate the curse. It's the only option here.
Yeah, the 9-3 curse on this map does exist. You've seen it happen time and time. Times can win.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Times has a better defensive hold, you know? Defensive players. And we're not attack players.
You know, Blood's having a game too. Didn't even realize that. There's a quiet top ACS here in the server.
Oh, just a quiet gamer. Quiet gamer. I think another thing that sets this team apart is that Celestial. Oh wow! That was crazy. I think Celestial plays more united. Someone's always set to shoot the darts or shoot the util out for their duelist, and I feel like on the side of Times, where that Silver drone is not being broken, the dart, and that costs you a lot in the end because giving your locations. But it was the same thing on Haven. The spy cam was never shot on the side of Times. They didn't shoot it once down short. And...
I mean, Ski's got himself in a good position here, but I mean, if he can get himself at least one before he goes down, maybe two, this would be really good from him. Pillow Fort getting flashed by his own teammate in the process, and they didn't hear the bullets. Actually don't deal with him immediately, but the running gun frenzy from Blood does take him down. As go down to 1 HP, so a 2v2 in favor of Times right now. This is where they can start to activate that curse.
Spike planted.
Yeah, everyone on Times is full health. And a sheriff in hand. And both of them are one shot to that sheriff.
Last player standing.
Oh, wow. Wait, that is a huge pick from Asgo, though. Actually taking one down. Into the retake here. Keo. Only one left to look for Blood. I mean, it's going to be difficult, but she actually can't get the job done. 10-3 right now for Celestial Titan, and they're starting to sweep this one away. And Times 3 rounds potentially away from being eliminated.
Yeah, if you're Times, you just have to sit there and question where that retake went wrong. You have a sheriff in hand, and both players are full HP, and everyone on Celeste is low. Looks like TIMEZ is not gonna buy in. Just gonna have the sheriff on NRY.
Your fault.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah, I mean, there's no way to counter that one.
Yeah, I mean, unless your classic is the best, but he had a sheriff there. He could have won it, but it's a great shot from Pillow Fort.
Pillow Fort Tings.
Yeah. What can't he do?
Ooh, that drone didn't see
They
Teo.
actually don't clear the KO there.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Here.
Spots 3 towards mid. Ski smells trouble. Now XD, I don't know where from. He gets a kill with the classic here. So it gives them a bit more options to come into this, but as I say that, they take down Ski. Chitty Suit. He's got the paranoia, but it's a bit too late. So take down Keo before he's able to land it down. It actually takes down Pillow Fort with the classic, but brings out the dark cover at the wrong time. Blue takes him down and 2 steps away from securing that lower final spot for Celestial Titan.
Yeah, I mean, it's a basic Valorant. I mean, we did say it was anyone's game, and I think when it comes to this map, it's just who can do it better, you know? I think in each map, they both fought long and hard, and I think TIMEZ was just running out of juice. The momentum got lost from Haven.
Shadows traveling.
This time, bit of a format change for the KJ lurk. As you see him going towards mid, trying to take out any of the KJ utility on the opposing side. So far, so good, but turret spot out the B main positioning. Actually, XD. What makes me nervous about this setup, Thalya, is that XD is using this Odin to actually absorb a sight take. So he actually didn't even go for like those spams over towards mains. A tough weapon to carry around on the site where there's 5 people running at you, but could make it work, and he doesn't. This goes down completely. Ski, the second one left here, but gets taken down by the Guardian of Asgo.
Spike planted.
3 players left standing for TIMEZ, and I mean, it's still looking so bleak. They're on their back foot every single time. I mean, it's a really good fragment, but still, how does Keo go down there? And Shizu still able to find one. Paranoia comes through, but NRY still takes him down. No one on TIMEZ able to capitalize off of any of the utility used so far. But it's Chilisu left in for the clutch. Comes into the angle, moves out onto the site, but Pillow Fort slips right through the cracks of the dark cover and takes him down in a 12th round for Celestial Titan, and we are at series point.
Yeah, and TIMEZ is on a confused buy yet again at match point. Even Odin and the Spectres, some Bulldogs, and a Vandal. They do have firing power, but what can you do with it? Is the real question.
Yeah, I mean, this is rough. They've got the confused buy here again, and it's 12-3. Paranoia, though.
All of Celestial is stacked towards A besides their solo.
Yeah. And look at these deep angles they're taking as well. Good damage from Shizu. NRY actually almost make a kill there. It's a dink, gets out with his life, but look at Chirisu on the other side. This guy just walked all the way through Cat. And unfortunately, that very peculiar turret placement actually finds him. So he goes down. But, I mean, a lot of damage has been done so far, so a bit silver lining for TIMEZ here. But, I mean, every round counts at this point. They have to win 11 rounds, or 9 rounds rather, in a row to take us into overtime. XD gets caught out. How does he lose that fight? And even NRY going down on the site, and all of it is just going wrong for TIMEZ on this last map of the series. 2 deaths away from being eliminated from the tournament. But Ski trying to be the hero. 3 on the round. He's at low HP now, but the regen shield actually makes him good. Got the Vandal in hand. Aldrone gonna stall him for just a second here. Keo at 1 HP as well, going to have to go into it here. But Blood goes for the spams. Keo, last one left, and there's the shot from Asgo to confirm things. Celestial Titan moving on to the lower final. Man.
Yeah. Wow.
What a late matchup, but I mean, it was very eventful. 13-3, Thalya, is not the way you want to go out of the tournament. And just looking at the leaderboard here, Blood and Pillowfort just topping that leaderboard once again with incredible performances. I mean, Blood 23-3. I mean, that's an incredible KDA. I was gonna say crazy there, and incredible at the same time. It's like incredible what he's able to do here, and also Shizu still finding really good value out of his role. Ski turned up again though. I have to give him his flowers here, because you and I talked a lot during the pregame, Thalya, about how on Sunset he just could not find his footing, but he found it right here on Ascent. And even though they went down in a very dominant scoreline, Ski definitely has a proud one to go out on.
Yeah, Ski was great that game. I think his lurks were very impactful. He was very well, I guess, mannered in the way that he lurked. They were very impactful. I think I sometimes wish he would have switched it up on his lurks through mid. You don't always have to go cat. You can sometimes go through mid, just straight through mid to heaven, and you can wrap around through tree. And he did do that one round, but unfortunately they had already known that he was lurking and he got caught doing it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, TIMEZ has nothing, in my opinion, to be upset about. I think they fought long and hard tonight. They were the underdogs of the series, and they played the game to the best of their abilities and what they could show. And just that whole squad, I think, should be applauding themselves for fighting such a dominant team like Celeste. And if anything, you took their map from them, so I mean, you can go out with that.
And I mean, to be honest, although they go out here, I definitely think that TIMEZ have shown us one of the best stories out of all of these teams of Ascension. And that's what this tournament is actually all about. What does Ascension look like? You start somewhere, you go on your path to greatness, and you end in an even better spot. And I think that TIMEZ have definitely shown us that narrative in an incredible way this entire tournament. I mean, even going down to Celestial Titan, I don't think anybody in the tournament expected them to make lower semifinals just based off of their group stage performance. But I mean, this right here is something to be endlessly proud of for sure. But on the flip side, Celestial Titan, Thalya, they've secured their spot into that lower final. So it's going to be Celestial Titan versus Red Panda Gaming tomorrow. What's your prediction on that matchup?
I'm hoping for a Celestial Titan win. I think after watching the squad do what they did, they lost their map pick. And they came back and they had something to prove, and they wanted it so bad. I think they could. I think they have a really good chance of taking it from Red Panda Gaming. I think if Red Panda Gaming kind of makes some of the mistakes they made today, they could definitely cost them the series.
100%. And I mean, this is a true test here. I definitely think Celestial Titan are going up against a really difficult team. I mean, if RPG comes swinging like they usually do, I mean, they'll just take down CLST pretty quickly. But if Celestial Titan can win that matchup, it takes them to that grand final versus DSS. And just that best of 3 alone decides who goes up against DSS in that grand final. And I'm going to be honest, based off of my original thoughts of this tournament, this is exactly where I figured we were going to land. I figured we were going to land with DSS in that grand final with an upper bracket run. RPG definitely up there thought Minji would make it further, but Celestial Titan made it as far as I actually expected them to, just from the beginning. And even though they slowed down a bit coming into the playoffs, I definitely think they found their footing again, and they look like Celestial Titan again. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I think when you watch them in their group stages, I think they're phenomenal to watch. I think Celestial Titan has a really great team behind them. And they're overall, like you said, there's layers to that team. You have the Lurk. You have Pillow 4, who's such a dominating duelist. You have those initiators that are really good at what they're doing and really good at setting up their duelists for these evasive plays on site. Your controllers are lurking sometimes or switching up where they're playing and sometimes being aggressive with the duelist, and that's what you want to see out of a winning team.
Yeah. 100%. That is exactly what you see out of a winning team, and it's what you want to see out of any team making it this deep into the tournament. That's a series that you expect to go that way. Both teams fought it so hard. Obviously, the last map being a bit of a blowout. I mean, nonetheless, this was an incredible series and a great competition from both ends. And that ends things off, folks, for today. That's it. DSS versus RPG, Celestial Titan versus TIMEZ. And with that, we know our top 3 in the tournament thus far with DSS, RPG, and Celestial Titan in that particular order. DSS claiming top 2, and RPG and Celestial Titan at the very least claiming that top 3 spot. So we're going to find out tomorrow what happens and who we get to go into that grand final. Any closing remarks, Thalya?
No, I'm excited to see who wins this entire tournament and who walks away with that prize.
Yeah, it's going to be super exciting. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me on the Casters booth today. It's been an actually absolute pleasure to share the Casters booth with you. We haven't done it before. We tested it today. We were iffy on it, and I think it went very well. I think it's safe to say, I speak for everyone, you've done an incredible job here in the Casters booth, so thank you for that.
Thank you for having me. I think it went great. I think the energy was up, the vibes were up, and I had fun overall, and I'd love to be back one day.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, 100%. We're going to make it happen again. Well, folks, that ends things off. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's been an absolute pleasure to be able to host this tournament for you guys, and we are going to end things off here for this stream. But join us tomorrow for Red Panda Gaming versus Celestial Titan for the lower final. You won't want to miss it. See you then.